Hey there, people. Nope, we're not. That's not even starting yet because it's the pre-show. What up, folks? This is Nikki D over here chilling with my boy Ganja Guru. How you doing, Ganja?
Hi, it's so good to be back.
And we got our boy Alan over here. He's here too, as he says.
I'm here also. That's my line.
There it is. I will never be able to get that shit right though. And we got Allie girl. What's up, Allie?
Hey, what's up?
Again, nobody cares. I'm the fan favorite, right?
Yeah, well,
No, you're not. My bird is the fan favorite. She won the poll.
No, that was an ironic fucking poll. That goddamn bird's not even that cute of a bird. Okay, I'm sorry, but no, it needs to be a crow.
You're wrong.
Yeah,
you're
wrong.
Objectively wrong here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ain't gonna be like everybody else. Like this is a Marvel trailer or some shit. Like I'm sorry, dude, but your fucking bird is not that great. Okay, look at that. It's not even doing anything. Do something, you fucking bird. Shit.
Oh, see, she's the cutest little mascot we have.
Exactly. Oh man, well, she's the only little mascot that we have.
Well, before that, we had someone sexual fantasy as our mascot.
Yeah, that was great too. By the way, I like
Stop telling people that.
People, no, but it was the case. If you guys ever do a podcast and want to put your sexual fantasy as a mascot on something, you probably shouldn't do that, especially if you like to talk about objectifying women and things like that. But anyways, with that said though, we're not objectifying the bird unless Ganja's talking. This was a video game show. He was talking about fucking that bird and all this crazy shit. You and Gary are like partners.
You're about to say you're confusing me with my counterpart known as Gary Eakin.
Dude, you guys are basically the same person.
Oh yeah! It's been 2 weeks.
Man, honestly, we need to do a whole show of him just being Gary the entire time. See how long it takes for you to pass out.
We should do a Halloween show where it's just me and Gary talk about like horror films, but the whole time I'm just in Gary's voice and see how many times people pick out who's who.
I know, and I won't show either of you guys on screen. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I'll just take an animated photo that Gary, he sent us one of his custom artworks, and just put it as my avatar and just figure out which one is the real Gary.
That would be great, actually. Adrian is saying we love penalty.
Penalty.
Well, if you're paying attention to FIFA, you probably do love penalty shots at the moment. So
yeah,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, something happened.
Woo!
Dude, man, I swear to God, I don't know how people watch soccer. It's like, here, watch this fucking 90-minute game without any breaks, and all they're doing is kicking a ball.
You know,
like,
I was like my last, because if you guys don't notice, I was gone for a little while. I was gone for about like a week and a half. Mm-hmm. And one of the things is I was in Europe, and they love their fucking FIFA over there. They don't call it soccer; they call it football over there. I still call it soccer because that's what it is for me as a dumb American. And like I was just chilling on the side, just smoking like my hash pipe, and I'm watching this bar of just people staring at TV like fucking focused. And it was like maybe 30 minutes until out of nowhere, I'm just fucking with my phone. Whoa! What the fuck? Who's getting robbed? What's going on over there? They just yelled out these big ass exclamations, and then they were speaking Spanish. So I don't know what the fuck they were talking about half the time. And I was just watching this go on for like at least an hour, where they would get quiet. Some small shit would happen. They would act like the biggest thing possibly happened.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, dude. We're like that with Super Bowl shit here too. Like no matter what, it's gonna be that insane.
You know what? At bars and stuff like that, I've recently gone with my cousin because he's a huge fucking sports fan. Mm-hmm. He even watches hockey and what's called I think skating is what it's called. Not professional skating, but the one where they're
skating.
No, they're not actually skating on ice. It's the one where they roll. It's kind of like rollerblades, and they got to hit the nets on the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's hockey on the street.
Hockey, yeah.
Street hockey. Yeah, there you go. I just got to. Now, but he even watches that shit. And when I go to the sports bars with him, it's not as crazy as it with the fucking soccer fans, because they'll be staring at that ball like they got money on the game. I literally saw my fucking concierge as I was walking in not let me in for 5 minutes because he was just staring at the TV glued to it.
No, like they're crazy about that shit. Like football fans are kind of crazy, especially when they get to hometowns. But they're nothing compared to soccer fans. Soccer fans, like, they'll fucking burn down a bar because they won.
Yo, like my favorite was, I think it was, you guys correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but it was, I think Mexico got saved by, was it Korea? One of the teams had saved Mexico, and it became like a big thing. The fact that they got continued to play, that the Mexicans were like celebrating with the Korean flags and shit. One Korean prime minister got jumped by a bunch of Mexicans, and they were just cheering on and had the Korean flag. And one dude even blew a joint smoke in his face. That's how much partying they do when it comes to soccer. It was amazing. Like I'm jealous that we really don't have something in America that makes us lose our shit like that, unless you're a dumb college football fan.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, I know, like, there's worse shit, too, with us destroying the city and everything like that, too. But, like, that does sound insane coming from where you are. And, by the way, where were you at again? I always fucking, like, there's so many places you went to that I want to say the wrong thing every time. Where did you go again? Like, the main attraction?
the 3 main places I hit up, I was at London, and then I went to Amsterdam, and then I went to Paris with my final days.
Okay. Wait, it sounds like I went to Paris for my final days. I was trying to die, but unfortunately I'm back here.
I tried to commit suicide the last day, but I punked down and I ended up coming back and doing
Yeah,
this
she
shit
did
with you
American
guys.
Werewolf from Paris where he like jumped off and then some dude saved him. He's like, no! And then he came back.
It's not worth it. I don't want to go back. Man, I don't know. Alan, I know you say that we're like a superpower of being American. We don't really believe it unless we go out of the country. Because every fucking person I talk to wanted to talk about Trump. It was like the minute I got an Uber, I was like, oh, where are you from? American. Ha, 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 ha. So what's up with that Trump situation? What y'all doing over there? I had an answer for the crimes of over 1 million Americans. I didn't vote. Like, I'll admit it right now. I didn't vote.
It doesn't matter. You're representing your country, so yeah. Guess what?
It's almost it's like everyone watching us like from other countries. It's like they're watching a TV reality show that just took the form of a country, and now when they actually see you, it's like, oh my god, they're from the TV set. Like I'm talking to one of the characters.
Pretty much.
How is that a horrible place called hell? Tell me about the American.
You're joking, man, but like one of the best moments I had there was watching The Simpsons, and there was an episode where they were doing something about the French people, and it was like the most horrible stereotypes that they could do for the French people in The Simpsons, and I was just laughing my ass off because like with the fact that like they're across the pond and like British people just love the fuck out of The Simpsons, and that the fact that like they just let all this slide with The Simpsons is kind of amazing to me. But then they show like this violent scene, like I think in the later episode, Mo gets lit on fire. They'll let the racist jokes and all that shit slide, but as soon as he got lit and barbecued, the camera cut. Whereas in the American version, you see Mo actually get engulfed in flames. So I was really surprised and taken back by that, like as an American, to see them kind of shy away from violence. And apparently that's not a thing over there, really.
Yeah. But no, man, like, so you were texting us this entire time. You got some stories going on, too, with you trying to get laid and all that shit, getting your dick wet. It didn't really happen. What happened, man?
With the last day, man, like, I kind of already told the story on the Untitled Video Game Show. Make sure to check that out every Friday, 7:30 CST time on our Facebook page. But basically what happened was, you damn right, T. But what happened with me, it was like, I wanted to really, I ain't gonna lie, Allie, I'm sorry. I wanted to fuck a French girl. I really wanted to accomplish that before I left the country of Paris.
Welcome to MCA, Allie.
Welcome. It was all consensual and agreement. So she knows. She wanted to hear the tea when I got back. But what happened was, is like I was flirting around. I was just talking to women. I was getting like a little bit of some feedback. But in France, the fucking French people are very, very focused on making sure that you speak French. And as somebody who doesn't know how to speak French, it was kind of hard to do any type of game. And so I remember talking to a French girl at one point in time, and it was starting off some conversation. It was good back and forth in a little while. And at one point in time, she's like, "You speak so fast, and like, you sound so hood, so ghetto, like yo, and stuff like that." And that shit hurt my ego. Like Dijon in the Facebook chat said that Ganja went into his Drake feelings. I did for a little bit. For like a second, I heard Marvin's Room in the back of my head, and I literally walked out the bar and went defeated. Like that's one of the things you have to learn about these countries. They have different attitudes and stuff like that. And I think Paris is one of the ones that was a complete 180. Because I went to Amsterdam, everything was cool because they speak English is like their second and third language, so it's easier to communicate and it's easier to talk to people and hang out. London, they speak English, they just speak a more proper term, so even then it's easy to conversate. But Paris was like a whole nother fucking world, to the point that like I felt like I was in a different country, whereas the other ones I felt like I was in a different version of America to some degree. So I really think it's really cool to travel internationally just to get that sense of being somewhere different. And being the guy that's like, oh, I can't complain no one speaks English because I'm in France. Like, what am I expecting?
The thing is, man, and I hope you get this reference because you're as old as I am. You should remember this shit. But, like, as soon as you're telling me the story about how upset you were that she was like, man, you're talking like yo, 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 and the whole thing, the first thing I thought of is this music video from Busy Bone, When Thugs Cry. I don't know if you remember this fucking song, but it was so silly, man.
Man, I can't hear it on this end because the way that it works. But I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about, and that's kind of how I felt. Between that and Marvin Room, I was very defeated that night. But one of the things I really did, I loved Amsterdam the most, and for obvious reasons, I checked out the coffee shops. I went to the Van Gogh Museum on a large amount of edibles. But one of the things is, and for you guys that don't know, a certain drug is legal in Amsterdam called salvia. It's also legal on the West Coast as well as certain states as well in America. But one of the things is like this is like salvia is one of those strong like natural drugs you can do. So to describe something for you, Nick, who doesn't really do drugs, you hear the stories how potent acid is, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so basically salvia is taking a hit of acid for 5 to 10 minutes. So whatever, like that deep tripping that you hear about on acid, that's basically what you experience for 5 to 10 minutes. I've done salvia before, so I knew I was in for. So I closed the blinds, I put on some good music, and to show a little homage to my friend Birdman and all my co-hosts on the Untitled Video Game Show, I listened to Sweet Nothing by Calvin Harris, and I forget, is her name actually Florence?
Florence Welch, yes.
Florence Welch. And she does Florence, she's the lead singer of Florence the Machine. And so I'm relaxing shit, I got my shirt off, it's almost like I'm about to go in those cryogenic chambers from the Aliens movie and just go into a deep sleep. So I get the pipe, I pack it fully because I know what I'm in for. So I do the light, I take a big hit. And as I take the big hit, it feels like you're about to go to sleep. That's, I guess, my best way to describe the feeling. So as I'm closing my eyes, I lean forward, and that's when I just become dissociated from the world. I'm in like this little bubble that's shaped like Amsterdam Street, and I'm melted from the street top. And as I'm melted from the street top, I can feel myself just coming out of it like the fucking like Kitty Pryde from the X-Men. Like I am just melted through the top of the ground. And as I'm melted top of the ground, I see this like ghost walk by. And I'm like, yo, man, I'm on salvia. And the ghost is just like, yo, man, be nice to me, please. He's like, and as soon as he did the thumbs up, that's when I saw a bunch of geometric patterns just turn around, and I heard Sweet Nothing in the background. And as I moved my head, I just see all these colors and all these visual patterns. The streets and stuff would melt into each other to the point, and I got this rush of energy and just this sense of joy and love for the world that I yelled out, "This feels fucking amazing!" In my head, y'all, I'm in this beautiful world tripping and shit, but on the outside, I'm just in the fucking hotel room. So I can only imagine what my neighbor thought across if he's just chilling, watching TV and shit, and just out of nowhere he just hears, "This is fucking amazing!"
Yeah, you're in fucking London or wherever the hell you were. People scream weirder shit, man. During FIFA season, come on.
That's exactly how it felt. It wasn't that deep because I didn't break through all the way, but I was seeing shit like that, Nick. And when I came to, I was like, God, that was amazing. That was amazing. So I ended up running to the people that was traveling with me, telling them my trip story, and then end up walking the rest of the streets of Amsterdam till like fucking 12 o'clock at night because I was just so hyped from the good trip.
Lord.
Yeah, man. I used to think that this movie is fucking ridiculous until I hear shit like this. Like, you know what I mean? But
it's not as like, man, that's because I went on like a lower level of that. It was not as crazy as that, but like I was seeing weird shit whenever I closed my eyes. I was like, my imagination just went wild. It did whatever the hell it wanted.
And that's what it's supposed to do. Like when you do drugs like this, just relax. I suggest you do them in a legal place as well, like Amsterdam, where you can call the police and they will show up and help you and not kill you. So like I give you advice on that, but like one of the things I did like about Amsterdam was it was weird, Nick, because it was like the people they don't judge you, but you can tell there's like a sense of like, yo, you should be a little more respectful than you are. Because I saw a couple like college kids just smoking a joint right in front of the tech shop, and you can see like the Dutch people just giving them the stink eye. Mm-hmm. And that's just me being a single person watching people. And one of the things I would do is like, you know, I'm an old school smoker. Like if I'm smoking that spot, I hide and shit. You know, I got a little bit of dignity with it. So one of the things is before I was leaving my hotel room, I was just hitting my hash pipe for a little bit, just smoking up the last bit of my legal stuff that I have in Amsterdam before I go to Paris. And I'm hiding like a little corner right between the hotel and stuff, and it's like a little alleyway. So I'm just, you know, hiding like a stoner I am, just hitting the pipe. And I could tell this is like this Dutch man, because the Dutch people are tall as fuck, bro. Like, I never seen no one above the height of like 6'2". Like, I was looking up like, God damn, Vikings. And so I saw this dude walking up, I'm hitting the pipe, and he just looks at me like with this like judgmental face, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to hear some nonsense. He goes, hey, you smoking weed? And I'm like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm smoking weed. Oh, all right, go just smoke on the street, man. Like, don't be in the alleyway because it'll make you think you're doing hard drugs. Oh, okay then, sir. I don't want them to think I'm doing hard narcotics. Let me go onto the middle of the road and hit this weed pipe.
He made sidewalk, but in God's defense, he probably was in the middle of the fucking road.
I know, I think God just walks in front of a diesel truck and shit, and he's like, hey guys, no, I don't want to
on the first car that drive by.
I don't want to get in trouble, y'all. Hey, police officer, how you doing today? Like,
oh, but what fucked me up,
do you have a light? Yes.
What fucked me up the most, y'all, like, because I know we're going to get onto the actual show, and this is, like, the last story I have to talk about, because it pissed me the fuck off, and it also shows a little bit of racism that goes on in Paris. On my first day of Paris, I went to a spot that a lot of people said is a good way to pick up some weed. So I'm just chilling and shit. I'm just hanging out in a corner. I'm trying to look as, like, the guy who's not looking for something, but also looking for something, you know what I'm saying? Trying to send a double message. So this guy walks up to me, hey man, you looking for some weed? I'm like, yeah, 30 euros. I was like, all right, so I'm probably gonna get like 3 grams or something. He gives me a baggie. It's a quick quick ass transaction. As soon as I felt the bag, the bag was more than what I paid for. So right off the bat, I'm like, no, this motherfucker didn't. I get back to my spot. I open the baggie, and this motherfucker gave me lawn trimming. Like old school ass lawn trimming, dude. I was so fucking pissed.
Wait, when you say that, do you mean literal, actual
lawn trimming, bro? Like you had grass, man. Just not real grass that I wanted, but actual fucking grass.
Okay, because I thought that was some euphemism for some bullshit. I didn't think he actually gave you literal grass.
I would have preferred Reggie's because that was actually weed. Some kind of weed is in there. I didn't even have that. It was just fucking lawn trimming.
You should complain to his manager.
Yeah, no shit. Get call his landlord service. You know he gave me some of your lawn trimming. There's no
do a Yelp review on him and shit. Hey man, what's your dealer number?
No, that'll be the death of just everything when we start giving drug dealers fucking Yelp reviews.
Hey dude, man, that might be the death of some bullshit. But so I'm just walking around the Times Square, and this one dude comes up to me. He's a Algerian guy. I'm not gonna say his name. So we're just hanging out for a second. He's like, "Yo, man, are you looking for some hash?" Because that's all they got in France, apparently. And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm looking for some shit." He goes, "Yeah, man, I got you. So we walk, yeah, because I'm like, the thing is, they like hash, and to smoke hash, you need to do it with tobacco most of the time. And I really fucking hate mixing tobacco with my weed. So that was just killing me the whole time. I was just hitting the pipe and having to hit tobacco with it. I was just being a picky smoker, honestly. Okay. And like, I go with this guy, we walk a little distance. He's like, "Yeah, man, I got this hash for you." I'm like, "Oh my god, this is real weed. I'm happy." We do the exchange real quick, and we're talking, and he smells you smoke a joint off of him. And he's like, "Yeah, man, so did you get ripped off or something?" I was like, "Yeah, man, this dude over here just ripped me off." And I'm just like, "I'm out $30. He's like, "Man, that fucking sucks." See, a lot of things have changed in Paris, man. You know, fucking immigrants. I was like, "God damn."
Hey, like I'll give it to the people that live there because they have a legit problem. It's not the same thing as the problem with America. The problem with America is like there isn't open borders. Like imagine the problem that's currently happening with America times it by 10 and have the borders completely open. Like it's an overwhelming problem.
Dude,
there.
The borders aren't shit. Like I love it.
There aren't any.
You know how I feel about borders, Alan. You know, me being
that entire place. You can just walk. You just walk across any country.
Literally, when I got to Paris, I had ate like almost a gram of weed. So I was like, I was looking very high. So I'm walking into the train station, and this Paris cop, he stops me. He's like, "Yo, let me see your passport." I just give him the passport because I didn't have shit on me. So he looks at the passport. He's like, "All right, have a great day." That's as far as security went from me going to Amsterdam to Paris. I could have snuck a midget with a machine gun. No one knew anything.
Yeah, that's not good. Especially considering, because you make yourself out to be looking like really fucking obvious. Like when you're high, you're very like, "Yep, he's fucked up."
Oh, especially when I know that I don't have shit on me, I just go full on Cheech Chong, just like, "Yeah, man, I'm baked. What you want?"
Yeah, it does come to a point too that you just look high no matter what. Okay, when I first saw you in Times Square, or not Times Square, but like in New York.
Yeah.
Were you high when I first met you?
I'm sorry, but Kirk Lazarus in the chat said my dealer showed up 4 hours late, ate my Pop-Tarts, 1 star.
Yeah, I know. Somebody else too was saying like Shark was saying, "Yo, Ganji, you want some grass?" "Yeah, man, 30 euros." Like, yeah, thanks for giving me some grass. That's technically what I asked for.
So at least I got a chance to try, Francis foliage, I guess.
And then up here too, when you're telling your other story, Jet was saying, "Who's gonna be the one to tell Ganja that he actually died that night and we aren't actually here right now?"
Yo, that would be fucked up if some science shit happened like that. Not science.
What?
Sixth Sense.
Lord, what movie did you watch?
That could be some science shit. Scientists don't know yet. They're still trying to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey man, ghosts might be real. You gotta look at
guess what? All the quote-unquote religious people that figured it out are probably wrong.
True, but they're just as wrong as scientists.
Religious people are too stubborn to admit they're fucking wrong.
See, I like the people that they're just like, "You know what? We know we're wrong, but we'll find out when we die. Let's just enjoy the time we got here. Let's not try to figure some shit out. Let's not go into like why, man. When are scientists going to explain how baby Jesus walked on the water, or whatever the fuck happened there?" Like,
wow, there's so much incredible.
I don't even know. First of all, it wasn't baby Jesus that walked on the water. Let's just start
regular Jesus, like Jesus.
You know that was a miracle made. Which, third of all the shit that happened with Jesus was written after the fact by the apostles, so none of that shit probably ever happened. Third of all, it's religion, so there's a good chance it wasn't made up. I can keep going.
Nick, I went to Baptist school, so what you just said just blew my fucking mind.
I'm Muslim, and that blew my mind.
Baby Jesus, like, sounded like a baby was like over there. For one, who let the baby out to the fucking ocean, and then he's like just walking on water and shit. Like what the?
I mean, it's the fucking like medieval times, man. They didn't give a shit about kids.
Oh no, but you guys in the chat talking about like Gonzo was trying to get some booty, he failed. No, I could have got some booty in London. I got hit on pretty fucking hard, but it was
a lot
by
of dudes.
It was a fucking dude. Like, oh, Nick, you'll love this. I was going by a coffee shop, and I was about to chill somewhere and just hang out and just walk. Because I was been walking the city for a while, so I'm just chilling. I was going to chill at this cafe, maybe get something to drink, or just use their free bench. So I'm about to walk in and take this chair, and this dude sits down, grabs the chair, put it in the middle of his fucking legs. He's like, all right, man, take a seat. I'm like, nah, man, I'm fine. I'm like, nah, man, go ahead, take a seat. I was like, nah, buddy, I'm good. And I just kept walking.
Wow.
In my head, I was like, God damn, that's some fucking abrupt game. But I gotta respect it because if it works, it fucking works, bro.
I'm just saying, like, it's almost like you kind of like you almost changed your mind. Like, you know what, man, that's such a good game. I think I might take a seat. Like, this
I was
special.
Like, he might have fucked me a little bit, dude. I was like walking away, like, yo, man, if I was that type of dude, that might have worked.
He might have fucked you, and he was gonna butt fuck you, but he didn't let that happen. That's cool.
I might have tried some, that London spotted dick.
He is very tall.
Oh God.
But the thing is, man, before we start too, man, I'm gonna turn this. Tonight's gonna be a special fucking night. So Alan, you know you have a secret admirer, right? Not that guy from London, by the way. Don't get excited.
I don't have a secret admirer. Nobody likes me.
Oh man, no, there's a secret admirer. So there's a guy who comments on their stuff, and I've been wanting to bring this up because he told me later on. He's like, "Hey, why didn't you bring it up?" So I'm bringing it up now. There's this dude. What's his name? TLATOSMD. And
Holy
basically is saying,
shit.
What fucking Konami code did you fucking say?
I know, he's like, up, down, down, left, right, left, right. I don't know what that was a fucking Konami code just said. I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
Just random shit. But basically,
Yeah, exactly.
He's saying the guy complaining about the Mandy thing should go see Beyond the Black Rainbow. Apparently, it's another movie with Nicolas Cage in it. He was basically disagreeing with everything you said about Mandy.
Someone disagreed with me. No, fucking shocker.
Well, then he also said, too, Mandy got 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And, man, I'm just saying, this is one you can put on the W column for Nick Diaz versus Alan.
TMNT Extensial. I don't give a fuck, man. I'm sorry.
Like, no, the thing is, I did tell you that it was gonna get people are gonna like it. I said Mandy's gonna do well, and you're like, dude, no fucking way, man. Not over my dead grave or some shit.
I'm sorry, but like Rotten Tomato scores don't fucking mean anything to me. I don't give a shit. Like that movie, if that movie comes out and I enjoy it, I'll go back. Yeah, the trailer was trash and I was wrong, but I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, the Rotten Tomato scores right. I guess I'm wrong. No, I don't give a fuck.
Well, I'm just saying, well, no, because our argument was like if people would actually respond to it well too. I mean, there's a few things about it, but I'm saying that because of this, would you be open to watching Mandy at some point?
Sure.
Okay, sure. And one more thing too. Have you ever watched Beyond the Black Rainbow?
No, I don't watch a lot of Nicolas Cage movies because most of them suck.
Okay, would you be open to watching Beyond the Black
Fuck
Rainbow?
no.
Because I think people really.
I'll give you one. I ain't giving it two.
No, because people actually do really like you doing the reviews. I think that even though they disagree with you, there's something about your opinion that's very polarizing that people just keep like wanting to see you and see what you're.
Man, I ain't doing that shit after fucking Aaron Rojo fucking made us watch Rent. I ain't doing that shit again.
Nah, fuck that. I want Alan and Allie to review fucking Caddyshack series. That would be great for me.
Series.
There's actually one more thing because Rojo was in here. Oh, he says review Paint Your Wagon, and I was gonna ask Allie if she's ever seen Paint Your Wagon, but have you ever seen it?
No.
You haven't seen it? Oh, okay. We gotta watch this. It's a musical. I think we should all watch it.
No.
What's up? What happened?
I ain't watching a fucking musical.
Yeah,
hell no.
They're saying the RT score for Rotten Tomatoes is 20% wrong. Wait, what? Oh, that's a, okay. That's a meta joke. Never mind. I'm sorry, y'all. JT confused the shit out of me. But Allie, would you be opposed to watching another musical?
No, it depends. Though.
She never watched Rent.
I've watched Rent before.
Yeah, but not with us.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I did. I actually watched the last hour with you guys.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I thought she was there with us.
Oh, was he? Oh, I was actually trying to kick her out because I didn't want her to suffer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No.
You were trying to kick me out. So.
Yeah, I literally said no. She asked, "Yo, can I come in?" I'm like, "No, you don't want to deal with this shit."
And then Jess saying, "Y'all can keep me out of that watch party." No, Jess gonna
Fuck
watch
that.
shit.
No, I'm still mad at you for Shark Exorcist.
Yeah.
Nah, Shark Exorcist was
Shark
amazing.
Exorcist is some bullshit.
That shit was amazing.
Wait, didn't you not watch the whole thing, motherfucker?
I'm
Come
sorry,
on.
I'm not like you where I can sit through a 3.5 hour porno and then say, well, the movie sucked.
Sometimes the porno changes. They get in different positions. The music changes. The lighting. The fucking lighting, dude.
I was there for 30 minutes of The Handmaid, and even I knew I would not finish this fucking movie. Just because you finish a movie doesn't make you any more right with your opinion.
That's true. But go ahead, Ganja.
Yeah, but no, it does make your opinion a little more valid because you just get to the end of it.
Yeah, because you have to do the...
No, it fucking doesn't. Just because you can finish a piece of shit doesn't mean your opinion of seeing a piece of shit is more valid.
It does mean that you got hefty bowels, though.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, that was clever.
No, was it?
That was good. It's fucking
Nick, we have a show to do. Don't die on me, baby.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, I'm sorry. No, snap out of it. Grr. No, so the thing is, though, people, we're gonna go into our show now, and we're gonna talk about fucking stop smiling. Fuck. People, we're gonna get into our show. The thing is, speaking of all these reviews, we're gonna be talking about the entire Purge series. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna go very, very long with it and everything like that too. We'll get into there. If you guys want to get into the call, we'll tell you all about this shit later. But Alan, are you ready to go, man? You ready to do this shit?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready.
Okay, cool. And by the way, usually I leave. I don't even know how to fucking start because the thing is usually I'm not here during pre-shows, and it was actually nice. I like doing this, Ganja. You know,
it felt weird. It felt dirty.
Am I invited to go to these next time at all? You're not giving me a chance?
No, I don't know how you got the invitation this time.
I
you out.
Just like what you're trying to do in London. Anyways, this is fucking stupid. Oh, wait, one more thing. I forgot to do no more pre-show. Get that shit out of here. Now, on 3, 2, 1, we're starting the shit. Let's go. Oh, man, nice face. Face is really good today. People, face in your face. It's the Midnight Chat Attack. What is up? We got now a long ass pre-show. Found out Ganja's getting curved by London women.
Hey man, apparently I'm ghetto. We also, take
Jesus
that to
Christ, it's been a week. Let it go.
My ego!
Your ego is that of a small child. Let it go.
And he's not just ghetto, he's yo-yo ghetto. You know, like yo-yo.
Oh my god, I laughed my ass off when he said that because I figured God would be like, just brush it off. He's like, whatever. But the fact that he keeps bringing it up, it's like he got kicked in the balls. Like, I don't get it, man.
Like I told y'all last night, if she didn't put that yo on top of that, it would have been fine. That was just like that little extra stinger, just put that dagger deep.
Yeah, wow. Okay, well, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna use the word deep to just continue that on, but I'm not gonna do that. We're gonna move on from that.
I was trying to penetrate her, and she penetrated me. So
oh, there we go. Nice. See, that was a lot clever. A lot more clever. Allie, are you still awake after our long ass pre-show?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes. All right then, folks. So with that said, people, it's a Midnight Chat Time. Thank you for watching the whole thing. If you guys want to get into the call later on, you guys can message us on doubletoasted.com. Send us a PM. Send us a message in the fucking Facebook in that inbox. We'll get you guys in and talk about not only community questions, but also talking about the movies that we're gonna be talking about tonight. The whole Purge series, Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ganja, have you seen any of these movies?
No, I have not, so I'm just gonna tune out like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you haven't seen either of the Ant-Man movies?
Yeah,
no,
like,
I saw the first Ant-Man, but I haven't seen the second one yet.
Okay, well, we're actually gonna be. We'll talk about the first Ant-Man as well because I haven't watched it, and then I finally watched it today, and I gotta talk about that. Hopefully, Ganja can help me out there. I'm surprised you haven't seen any Purge movies, man.
The Purge is like, those are one of those movies, like a lot of those old 80s and 90s action films. I've seen them, and I've seen like the most like highlight moments. Like I remember in the first Purge, spoiler alert, by the way, where the scene is where the boyfriend's girlfriend, sneaks in at the end and shoots the dad, and that's how the film kind of almost wraps itself up.
Pretty much.
And a second one, I've seen it where the whole auction off, and it's like the rich people selling the poor people off, and it's like there's a group of people that are trying to stop them. I've seen all the highlight movies. It's just one of those ones that I never actually sat through and seen like produced by this company, director, and then fucking credits. I never gone that far into them.
Yeah. Which, honestly, it's like you'll find out later on tonight that maybe you kind of dodged a bullet, at least for some of these. What's up, Helen?
Thanks, God. Thanks for describing how to sit through a movie from director to credits. Like, did you really that much detail?
I mean, honestly, like that did explain a lot, though. Like,
yeah, but it's not necessary, man.
Hey, man, the more details, the more chance they get to understand it. You gotta let the people know.
Sure.
Allie, girl, have you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet?
No, I haven't. I was lazy. I could have gone today, but I just didn't want to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not one of those movies that everyone's like jumping to go. Like,
honestly, like it's a fine movie, but like if you don't watch this movie right away, you're fine.
Yeah.
Now, you should watch a Skyscraper coming out next week.
Then fuck you. Oh, that's gonna be honestly. That's the movie where me and you're gonna fight each other on. I can tell.
We're both gonna like it.
No, man. If I like it, I'll fucking stop watching movies.
I'm letting you know right now. I'm giving it better than sex. At one point, he gives someone a people elbow and it breaks the building in half.
That motherfucker jumps off, dude.
I can't tell if that's real or not.
No, it's frustrating. He jumps off one building to another with one fucking leg. Like, oh, I can't. I cannot.
But don't ever show Nick the amputee Olympic runs, man. He'll lose his fucking mind.
That motherfucker be watching Special Olympics and being
Oh yeah, he'll lose him and go, what the
This is bullshit. That fast wheelchair motherfucker.
Man, this is some CGI bullshit, bro.
What kind of movie is this fucking bullshit? Dude, you're watching the Olympics. What?
You can't tell me that motherfucker with curved ass legs like that is actually running that fast. Fuck you.
You can't tell me that guy in a wheelchair is lifting more than I can.
That motherfucker with a turtle shell faster than a rabbit. What the shit? No, but
the random tangent, man. There are videos on YouTube of a fucking tortoise beating a hare in a race.
I'm just coming up with the most fucked up jokes. Don't even ask me what I'm thinking of right now.
I can imagine. You gotta move on, but I can imagine.
I got one to throw out just so people are like confused why I'm laughing my ass off. I was thinking in my head, Nick just getting mad. That motherfucker can't even say his name. How the fuck can he throw that fucking javelin?
Oh, that was way worse than I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, that's so many people. But no, and also too, one thing I had to ask Allie, have you seen any of the Purge movies?
Yeah, I saw the first one.
Okay, the first one. Okay, cool. Hopefully you can be on my side with this shit because I think maybe me and Alan are going to disagree, but we'll see what happens. And then that's the big thing. It's like I'm trying to sell this show to people when they're watching it, but it's like me and Alan really do always butt heads. Like we'll be in the same lane for a little bit, and then somewhere in there, me and you just curve and go.
Yeah,
right.
I mean it's easy. I'm right, he's wrong. So you kind of have to just look at whose points, work on that sense.
You son of a bitch. But the thing is, if you guys want to come in here and have Alan say that you're wrong and me yell at you and the whole thing, make sure you message us, like I said earlier, on Facebook or in the Double Toaster chat, and even let us know in the YouTube chat. We'll find you and try to get you in for the movie reviews section and the community questions, which we're going to be answering more of your questions tonight. But Ganja, when they come in, they're going to have to follow some fucking rules so it's not all crazy and chaotic. So why don't you tell them what these rules are as I show it up on screen?
Just make sure to show them those rules that I'm going to announce and describe for you guys right now. Rule number 1, newcomers, join the call first. We're all about those fresh, smelling faces people are popping on for the first, or we haven't seen in a while, or just hanging out for the once time. We don't care. We want to see you guys hop in the call, talk some conversation with us. So let us know. Rule number 2, do not talk over each other.
Join the call first. As you said.
Especially if you're, man, just don't talk about foliage when we're talking about conversation pieces, because that's just rude and ruins audio quality for later viewing. So, guys, rule number 2, do not talk over each other. Rule number 3, please no nudity. This is a staple of squeaky clean internet, and we are squeaky clean boys and girls. So, make sure to keep the genitalia inside of the clothes because that would get us kicked off YouTube. With that said, please no nudity. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else the link. We have a planned show, believe it or not, especially the way I read these rules. So you hand out the link, we're kicking you off, and so is the dumbass that clicked the links. With that said, rule number 5, read the rules, and Allie girl,
don't be a mean person.
God damn it, the motherfucker.
But yeah, people know definitely. Yeah, make sure to message us if you guys want to come on. If you guys have any movies that you guys want to review, or even jump in and help me review something too, or help Alan the whole fucking thing. But with that said, too, let's get this shit on the road now. Gotta get the depressing stuff out of the way. I personally, I'm gonna say right away, like I'm not a person who knew who this guy was. Don't even know his name. Didn't even put it up there. But the co-creator of Spider-Man has passed away.
You respect
very
Steve
sad
Ditko.
day. No, but like,
Pour one out.
yeah, like, do you know who this is, Alan? Like by name or anything, or face?
Not by name, but the thing is, when it said co-creator, I was like, okay, I know that Stan Lee was always he was in basically every project, and he helped on everything to a certain degree, but there's always other people that worked on it. So as I was looking through it, I'm like, yeah, he worked on a lot of stuff to help make Spider-Man what it is now. So it's like, it is kind of like, yeah, you lose somebody that helped create one of them, probably the most popular superhero ever. So it's just man, it's like he died at 90, so it's like he got to see the fucking best and the worst, and then the comeback of his creation. So it's like that's a crazy thing to live through, man.
Yeah, no, Steve Ditko is his name. But yeah, man, dying at 90 years old. I mean, like, the first thing when I hear people dying at a certain age too, I'm just like, wow, this guy probably owned slaves. Like, this guy kind of sucks, probably. So I'm sorry, but he's that old, y'all. I get to.
God damn, not that old, man.
Man, it's close to it, brother. This dude was in one of the most racist times in America. Like, he's probably
2018. He died at 90 years old, which means when he was born, it would be 1920. Which means by the time he was an adult, would have been 1930, 1940. No, he didn't. I'm sorry.
Maybe. I'm still putting my crosshairs on him.
The rights movement happened like fucking 20 years later.
Underground shit, Alan.
30.
I don't trust him.
This motherfucker made the fucking Jews build the pyramid. Yeah.
Stan Lee helped with that project too.
Before they became comic book artists, they were known as slave owners. Y'all didn't know that he produced for Marvel? Y'all didn't know that?
Story of Steve.
During the Civil War, he was over there fucking like writing Civil War in the comic books. But anyways, I'm sorry about
It's a
that.
known fact that Marvel supported the South.
Oh.
DC supported the North. It's how this whole rivalry started, man.
Yeah, it started with race, like all things in America.
Oh, hail Hydra. No, but looking over here, man, yeah, like this dude, you know, it sucks that we don't see, like, I haven't seen his name or Stan Lee talking about him or whatever the case may be. I don't know the reason why. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but like the thing is it's kind of odd that Stan Lee hasn't kind of like show people like, yo, yeah, like this is not just my shit. Stan Lee takes a lot of credit for a lot of things and don't actually give any kind of like, hey, I did this with this person. Like I remember this with somebody else too.
It's the Steve Jobs effect of like, there's so many people working on this kind of stuff, and unless you're big into comics, you really don't know who these people are. Like again, people are putting Jack Kirby stuff like there. It's like Stan Lee was a salesman. It's like he worked on and he helped and he made sure like he could focus and keep these artists in line. But unfortunately, as a result of keeping these artists in line and keeping them on a tight leash and making sure this stuff worked, he was responsible for selling all this stuff to Marvel, and it became there. Like a lot of the stuff, like people could say, "Oh, I'm sure these people would have been fine without Stan Lee." It's like, unfortunately not. They had great ideas, but unless you have someone that can sell a great idea, it doesn't matter. So Stan Lee's contribution to comic industry is making sure these ideas came out. But as a result, everyone just said, "Oh, well, Stan Lee's the thing," and it's like, yeah, Stan Lee was there, but like, a lot of these unsung heroes just never got the attention they deserved.
Or they're notorious for like creating like the better stories that we hear about that are notorious in the series. Like I think Steve Ditko is the one that came up with the ideas of the Gwen Stacy arc, where they yeah. So like these guys were pretty responsible for big moments within the Marvel history and stuff they constantly recreate with new iterations. So the fact that like you see Stan Lee kind of get pushed to the forefront, it's one of the sad things where a lot of these old school things was, unless you're the guy that's in front of the camera with the Spider-Man logo, no one's gonna know who the fuck you are.
Different time,
One thing that's odd too is even in this day and age with everyone becoming big historians when it comes to comic books and everything now because it's so popular. And then obviously Avengers Infinity War coming out recently. I don't know why no one brings up in these articles now that he's dead is he created Doctor Strange. He did the first issue of Doctor Strange.
That actually I didn't know.
Yeah, that's something that I think that should be discussed more so than he was a co-creator of Spider-Man. Like, I mean, dude.
Spider-Man is up there with Batman and Superman as the most recognizable, most popular superhero. Doctor Strange has only really been popular for the last maybe 3 years since his movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I get why they're not like saying, well, like, because even in the article, it's like Spider-Man and also Doctor Strange. It's like, yeah, Doctor Strange has its moments, especially with, Benedict Cumberbatch, whatever the fuck his name is, and that's his actual last name, being in the star role. But it's like, it's Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man will always make money.
Yeah.
It took Sony fucking up the movie so badly for it not to make money.
Yeah, and I mean, and maybe the reason why this is a big thing about Spider-Man 2 is because he did the Doctor Strange thing. I don't know if he did the issues that came after that, but then he came back. I mean, he left in 1979. I think he did come back around the 90s, and he did Machine Man, Micronauts, Squirrel Girl, which I guess is.
Oh God, I hate Squirrel Girl. Jesus,
I love Squirrel Girl.
I don't understand what everyone's obsessions with the character. That is, I'm sure, a joke, but it's like they just don't shut up about Squirrel Girl.
She's stronger than the Hulk.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I mean that shit to me is silly as fuck. I mean, I don't like Squirrel Girl. I don't like the Micronauts. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I think I've seen something from Micronauts and it was silly as shit.
I fucking hate Yo Gabba Gabba.
Wait, is it something with Gabba Gabba? Like, I don't know what the fuck.
It's not Marvel. I'm just making fun of you.
Okay, shit, yeah, but like that's the thing. It's just like all this stuff's kind of odd to me, and I think that's probably why he wasn't talked about a whole lot. But I do feel that the guys who made the original should get some kind of like talk. I think this guy's death should lead to other people saying, you know what, dude, before all these guys pass away, let's go look at more shit. What?
Start a Me Too movement with fucking comic books?
No, I thought he was going to say this should lead to more deaths.
No!
Oh! What? What, you think they should... And I should kill all comic book creators, because fuck it.
You should kill comic book creators so they can get their respect.
I was like, where is this going?
I thought he was gonna put the fucking Me Too movement with comic creators. Well, I come out and I created this one.
No, man, I just feel like I do think that people should probably before they die, because they're fucking old, they should go back and look at like the creators of this and say, hey, before you go, good job. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, like the sad truth is, people don't care. Like, I think the guy who created Batman, they put it at the start of everything, created by I know the last name is Kane, but I keep forgetting the first name. But like they put it at the start of it, but I think that was a legal battle they had to win. Because like again, the Marvel and the big companies, they're like they own a lot of these properties because back then people were just drawing this stuff and nobody knew how popular. Like some guys like I'm just gonna do a guy who swings webs. Nobody knew that would be the most popular superhero in the world. If you told someone, hey, Spider-Man is gonna be the most popular hero for the next 7 years, be like, get out of here with this stupid shit, man. Like, but it is. It makes $1 billion. Like it's $1 billion IP. Nobody knew that back then, so they just worked for whatever. But it's like it's a sad truth of like now people don't really care. Like it's Stan Lee, he's the best. It's like yeah, Stan Lee worked on this stuff and he helped, but there's so many other people. You know, it's like George Lucas with Star Wars. Star Wars is not because of George Lucas. There's like 100 other people that made that work.
Yeah.
Well,
There we go. Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Yeah. So people pointing out in the chat, it's like that was a legal battle they had to win, so that at the start of every Batman title, Bob Kane is on the fucking title.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, I mean, I just hopefully people, pay their respects before these people die off, because that is a damn shame. Like, I feel like Spider-Man being what it is right now, being one of the biggest characters, the most talked about, things from Infinity War and shit like that, people should have went back and said, hey, by the way, like, dude who I even forgot his name now, y'all, like, this is bad. But, like...
Steve Ditko.
Yeah, Steve Dickens, like, he's like, people, he's fucking awesome. I don't know, it's just... Get some love, goddammit.
Yeah, Mark Twain is also a great comic book artist as well.
Wait, who is?
Timothy Dickens is my favorite.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was saying. Yeah. But yeah, man. But moving on. To not be so sad.
Moving right along, feeling so fancy free.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like it's just I kind of got lost in how good Gandhi just sounded right there. That was very good.
I think I stole that from the Muppets.
Yeah. Why would you steal from the Muppets? That's kind of awful.
Because Miss Piggy got that ass though.
Oh man, you know what? Actually, I would say
fucking
that's kind of
puppet. And Uncle Pig.
No, you can't even say that because that movie's out now. So it's like,
is that movie out? That stupid fucking Happy Town Murders bullshit. I thought they were getting sued at the fucking ass because they fucking used the Muppets.
Oh, they're gonna
and
get
all
something
that.
else with the fucking ass.
Hey, Alan, at least I know the pig is into stuffing.
Oh, that's
motherfucker. You're like fucking like shaking like I gotta tell this joke, man. I gotta tell this joke, man. Like that joke sucked.
I got the funnies, bro. I got the funnies.
Yeah, you gotta get that by a doctor.
The joke was stupid, but I did laugh because I mean, it's just that whole thing.
Encouraging him.
I was gonna say, I also know she's down with fisting, but I figured that was a little too graphic.
Well, then again, that's literally what you have to do. No, hey, anyways, y'all fucking perfect. Okay.
Speaking of perverts,
what I'm worried about, we're talking about like Muppets and sex shit, whatever the fuck, but like when it comes to animation, that actually becomes sexual too because of the internet. Like that Muppets movie is literally the internet getting what they've wanted this entire time, making fucking weird.
Nobody's wanted sex with Muppets, I promise you.
Dude, I highly doubt with the fluffies. What are they called? Oh, shut up, asshole. Gotcha over here raising his hand and shit slowly. But no, man, like no, the Happy Timer stuff like with sexualizing like furries. That's what it's called. It's called them fluffies. I didn't mean to call them all fat people and shit. But the furries. Don't they do that? They dress up as Muppets and they fuck each other.
No, they don't dress up as Muppets. Like there's not like a Kermit convention going on where people try to put their best Gerald voices on.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Well, okay, that one might actually be real.
Like it's time to start the music. It's time to dim the lights. It's time for the Muppet orgy tonight. Like I don't think that's going on whole
it's
time.
Time to spread the cheeks. It's time to grabbies.
Oh,
no, I'm not letting you this bit continue. What's the fucking story?
Okay,
No,
yeah.
what it is like with furries, it's just like they just. I'm not pulling that shit away. Come back, bitch. We're talking about furries. No, but like with furries, it's they like to dress up in animal costumes and live out these fantasies of like this certain creature they've created or their persona, and that's basically what it is. It's another form of cosplay.
Okay. Well, I was wrong about that too. But the Expendables, Alan. Because we're gonna sexualize this.
The Expendables?
I'm just being a dumbass.
Okay, I was like, did you forget the fucking movie?
No, Incredibles 2. Incredibles 2 makes some animated box office history. But $500 it earned domestic, and
That's
apparently it's the highest grossing domestic animated movie in America, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, shit. That's probably almost the highest domestic grossing movies. Fuck animation. Like 500 million. Like it's made 700 million. I checked that earlier. It made 700 million like worldwide. That's like 80% of its revenue is domestic. That's like unheard of nowadays. Most of it's like 300-400, and that's a big. That's like Avengers: Infinity War, where it's like $300-400 million domestic. So the fact that it made that much, like I know people were clamoring for it, but Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not surprised at all. Like you say, you think people were clamoring for it. Shit, people wanted this from the fucking beginning. Even I was fucking hyped for it when I first saw the first Incredibles, and I was waiting for the sequel to come out. It was one of those things that was up there with, I think, Finding Nemo and stuff that people really want a sequel from Pixar.
Yeah,
and it's kind of disappointing to hear that. I feel weird because one, I'm happy that this movie is making its budget back and then making 10 times more and becoming a nominal movie. But I also feel like from the way people have come out to it and people that have like from my generation have really wanted to see this film and they're coming back with kind of mixed messages. I feel like this was a cash grab, and just because we were clamoring for it, it's making that money right now. Whereas I feel like this is kind of like the Force Awakens syndrome, where people are liking it because they were waiting for so long, or they're like, it was a good, okay movie, but because I was waiting
that's
for it,
exactly.
I have to go see it.
You nailed it. It's exactly like that. It doesn't reshoot things from the original, but it takes certain plot points, development. It feels like a direct-to-DVD sequel versus a passion project, and that's my biggest problem with it, where it's like, it doesn't feel like anything's original. It doesn't feel like they had any sort of love in this. It just felt like they had to do a paycheck to do this, because, like, my biggest problem, and I know, like, maybe they never wanted to do this, but, like, why are we still dealing with these characters after 15 years as children and as like there? It's like I would have liked it if the fucking kids grew up and had their own family, and then we get to see what it's like to just have them dealing with the same kind of similar things. I think that would have been way cooler. But this just feels like a direct to DVD sequel we never saw.
And having the characters age such a small amount, I think it's really, really problematic too.
In like what, 2 months or 2 weeks or some shit?
Yeah, and I mean it's frustrating because it's like we waited this long, y'all, and you guys couldn't do it. I mean, I know it's like, you know, people will say the same thing about Arthur and shit, like, oh, can we have like a teenager? It's like, no, it's not the same show. Same with Simpsons. But this is something that's like we only got an hour and a half of content from this so many years ago. Like, unless you had like another show going on or some kind of like big video game series that expanded on the story, we don't need to know about one character hitting puberty and another character being more like disruptive in the house. I mean, come on, like that's barely.
Yeah, Jack. I know people love that, and there are some good scenes of Jack, but I hate Jack. It's like a walking Marvel joke in a movie. He just stops the movie every fucking time.
From what I get, a feeling Jack is just the little fucking squirrel that's a little bit more sentient.
He's Jar Jar Binks or the squirrel from the Ice Age movies. Take your fucking pick.
Yeah.
I mean, and that sucks. But the thing is like, when thinking about this, you know, I don't know if the money is going to continue raking in and snowballing to like the sequel, because they're going to make a sequel. I think it's pretty obvious. Like they're going to do that.
Well, I'll see you in 20 years.
They're not gonna wait 20 years. They'll come out in 3 years, and it'll be like, hopefully it'll be better.
Well, the thing is, like, after Incredibles, the first one, they had all these other IPs that they ended up doing. Like every 2-3 years, they had like this really big movie that was like, "Ooh, look how amazing Pixar is." Now they don't have that. I mean, right before Incredibles 2, they had fucking The Good Dinosaur. I didn't do good at all. So
no, Cars 3.
Oh, Cars 3, yeah. And by the way, oh man, some poo poo. You know what I mean? So,
Coco was okay. Like Coco was pretty good.
Oh wait, oh yeah, that was them too.
Yeah, that was
I forgot. I thought they did the Kubo and the Two Strings. I forgot if they did.
No, that was a different. That's claymation.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, man. So it's one of those situations where I do feel like, you know, the quality of this movie, like you're saying right now too, it's definitely gonna make it where the Incredibles 3 movie, when it does come out, it's not gonna do even close to this.
I'm worried about that shit. I don't want an Incredibles 3.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't want an Incredibles 3, man, because like if it's just taking the same thing as fucking Star Wars and Jurassic Park has done, with like after like 20 fucking years it comes back with a mediocre kind of movie and then comes out with a colossal piece of shit as the second one, it's like I can't do that, man. I can't do a third one of these.
Yeah, and then Zone Blade, which is JP, he says like he looks more forward to the prequel to My Hero Academia more so than this. Which it's like
weeb.
Yeah, you're a fucking weeb, and I like that show, but yeah, you're a weeb, man. I'm sorry.
No, and I'll say some weeb-tastic shit myself. It's like, why don't the Incredibles take something from My Hero Academia? And like, what if someone says, "Hey, you see these?"
They did.
Wait, they did? Like how so?
Oh god, the worst part of the movie is fucking them just be okay. So there's a point in the movie where Miss the Elastigirl is just talking, and it's like, you're inspiring so many people. Then walks into a room filled with a bunch of discount superheroes they got from Walmart. And it's like, I am the Crusher. I am Russian, so I crush things. And then it's like, I'm Void Girl. I do cool portal powers I use twice in the movie. They just got a bunch of random discount superheroes out of something basically like my hero. And it's just not done well because it just
they killed them like Deadpool.
No, they didn't. They just they barely did. They did nothing with them, like at all. And it's just like that's one big problem with the movie is there's so much in this movie that's pointless. That's not necessary. That's just killing time till the fucking movie ends.
Yeah, that does suck. But then again, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they did it wrong there, but just the idea, the concept of what My Hero Academia is, and they did it right. And they didn't do such stereotypical, like, oh yeah, it's just basic superhero fucking shit from the bottom shelf. That's something that could really expand the universe of Incredibles, where you can make like spin-off sequels and shit, and not be like terrible spin-off sequels.
Yeah.
But you never know what's gonna happen with that. Hopefully that shit gets better. But aside from all that stuff, people, that's it for our news. Usually we have like 3-4 fucking news stories and everything.
Actually, be kind of slow this week.
Yeah, no, the news was somewhat slow. I did have a couple of other things I was gonna bring up, but I'm like, you know what? One thing we gotta bring up these community questions, man. I love the community questions segment.
Before we go on community questions, I want to just chastise the chat real quick for their love of Elastigirl. Y'all the motherfuckers why some dude went to the movie theater and started jerking off in the middle of this film. I blame all of you for this. All of you.
Wait, this actually happened?
Yeah, that actually happened. I think it was a theater in Canada, or maybe somewhere here in the United States, more possibly. And someone just started whacking off in the middle of the theater every time they saw Elastigirl. He couldn't control it. And I think Alan had the best quote about it. Go ahead, Alan, drop it down.
Just go home like the rest of us.
No,
like, come on, it's 2018. Like,
yeah. And by the way, too, okay, this is something I'm getting really annoyed with, and it's like I'm gonna try my best and not make this sound like I'm sick of white people, but it's just like it.
Here we go.
Every news outlet loves taking advantage of the social media, going like, "Hey, then social media is saying this thing, calling it thick." Like, Incredibles 2-star Elastigirl is thick. Why that's a good thing? Like, really? That's your fucking article? Carly Malenbaum from USA Today? Really?
dude, it's a clickbait article. News is no longer about informing the people or making sure that people are interested in what's going on in the world. It's whatever the quickest way to get somebody onto your page.
I got a question. How is her being thick a good thing?
I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's like, who cares? Like,
I will guess, because what it's gonna be, it's like, well, women have been marginalized in movies as being thin and beautiful and all that stuff. Having a character in which there's a bunch more curves is more realistic to how women are actually portrayed, and it's a more realistic interpretation, giving women a more realistic body to attain.
Yeah.
That's probably what the article's about, but it's just one of those things where it's just a clickbait. It's a definition of clickbait.
Yeah.
Hey, Red Robot King, like Alan says, I do appreciate a good curve, but on your own time, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, concentrating the fucking movie there, jacking off. I think mainly it's because he just hates those fucking seats.
No. Only approved theaters for that, just like Pee Wee Herman.
Or just make sure no one's in there. Like, not that hard.
Yeah, it won't be that hard, Alan, if everybody's in there.
That sounds more creepy. Just putting your head in. All right.
Well, I didn't know anything. You ain't heard anybody.
Dude, you know what? That would really ruin my boner though. Like, if I get there early and I'm jerking off and someone comes in and then they leave, I'm like, damn, like they really don't like me. Shit, I just ruined. They paid money and then saw me in there and left. Like, damn.
You took my joke and took it to a place I didn't want it to go.
Well, we're there, baby.
Oh, I wonder how many My Little Pony fans did that nasty shit.
Oh man, dude, My Little Pony. But anyways. Moving on. This is shit stupid. So, community questions. Like I said, we're going to be doing. So, this right here is when you guys can go on our Facebook or Amino page and give us questions. And any question it could be something personal. It could be something not so personal, nerd-related, stupid, about food, anything to piss off Alan.
Not food. I ain't doing more food questions.
Oh, we probably got some more food questions, sir. I'm sorry about that.
I'm just happy we have Allie on this because usually she dodges these community questions. So I can't wait to see her answers on these bullshit.
Oh, yes.
Give her the food questions. She likes food.
Oh no! The last few, she has not liked the food that we talked about. Ruthless be asking some things, and then Allie's like, "Oh, neither."
Yeah.
But ask her. I ain't answered.
But anyways, let's go ahead and do this, people. So this actually is from Ruthless. He says, "You have to star in a horror remake. What movie would you remake to star in?" This has been asked before. I feel.
Yeah, I remember answering this question.
Yeah.
Did you fuck up and put the wrong questions up?
I hope not. Let's see. Let's try this one. How would you? Okay, this is a new one. How would you?
I think
porn.
we've done this.
Yeah, wait.
No. We did not do that specific question. That question, you're thinking of when we did the new tier in Europe of how we would make Netflix better, and my answer was porn.
I think we were talking about how Netflix is kind of it's talking about making their they're increasing their payment for their viewership here in the States.
That's a different story.
One of the things Nick asked us, like, all right, how would you justify us like raising the percentage on the fees?
True. But the thing is, I think I remember what happened is we did that question, or we did that topic, but it was actually not a question. It was just the ultra tier thing that happened that Alan
yeah.
Right now. And that's what we talked about. And I guess we can probably reiterate what we said before. It's not JT's fault. He probably just asked this question at a time where, you know, it was just...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Watch our old shit.
Yeah, I guess. No, like, and actually, Ganja, I'll let you go first. And if you can remember what you said last time.
What I said last time was you just justified for the payment increase. So if you want to improve Netflix, I think one of the things you should go towards is more of their mobile platform. I think that's something that's great that they're doing, is that you could watch Netflix on anything you do, and to the point like that, I could actually watch it on my cell phone if I'm walking down the street, because it just does before G's and it connects good enough with that. And that's something that was secure in the future. And honestly, they're doing it well, with the sense of making their own custom content, because that was something that weakened Netflix for a while, as they were dependent on other production companies and other studios to give them content to provide. So the fact that they're making their own shit is going to increase, constant, viewership, and also make them more solidified as a company itself. So honestly, like, Netflix is pretty much doing everything in the sense that I would encourage them to do to improve, except maybe all the Marvel shows. That I think they got to cut down that, because it's starting to give me a little bit of sense of like, all right, here's another Marvel show. It's going to be just like the other one. Like, the first half is great, but the rest is just a chore to get through.
Yeah. And Allie, how about you? What would you do to increase Netflix or improve Netflix?
I don't know. Netflix seems pretty good to me so far. If anything, I would say probably just to find like their content a little bit better, because I feel like it starts like when you start watching a lot of shows, it like obviously it changes to like the things that Netflix thinks that you would be into. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you want to watch something a little bit different, but that's never listed. And you have to really dig and search to find a movie or a TV show because Netflix doesn't think that you'll like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And for me, like, what I would do is I would make a tier that allows people to just have something on all the time. I know one time, like, or not one time, I think all the time, I'll be watching Netflix, watching a show, and then, like, I leave the room or something, but I just want something on. I just want something to be on, because I don't want my big-ass quiet fucking house happening, because it's fucking creepy. And I'll do that, and then Netflix stops and is like, hey, you still watching this? And it's kind of like, oh, well, motherfucker, like, yeah. Like, I'll turn the shit off. And I do think they should do something where maybe have like a playlist TV thing at the top of the page where you just hit live Netflix and you just play random shit. They have a guide, they have a little like schedule for you and says, hey, this is what's going to be happening. Instead of searching for shit, just click on this and we'll play new shit for you. We'll make sure that it's just a bunch of content. And that might be a good way to kind of like make more money in that sense too. They could put like this little ad at the bottom of the page, and create some kind of revenue for the fucking thing. I think that'd be cool. And then if some people don't have enough money to get a full subscription thing, they only have like $4 to pay, have them only have that feature. Like that'd be kind of cool too. Options are great for whatever the case may be. But Mr. Allen, I called you
porn.
Mr. U.
Just porn. High octane, just fucking an entire thing of just porn. Porn flicks. Flexing porn.
Or Netflix videos. So it's like X videos, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I saw Cedric's comment as well.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to steal from, but you didn't have to fucking give him credit for it, goddammit.
It's in a fucking chat and it's in a live stream. It's on the fucking page right now.
I'm sorry. I was going to give him credit right now too, but damn it,
no,
I just love it. It was delivery, not the DiGiorno. Fucking Alan, goddammit.
Yeah, that joke's never been funny.
I know, but I'm gonna keep doing it no matter what. But yeah, no. The porn thing would probably work, but at the same time too, I can imagine how that's gonna turn out. And man, what if it's like softcore shit? That'd be rough too. You'd have to have a pornologist sit there and just map the entire fucking thing.
Well, I hate to bust their bubble. There's already soft porn on Netflix, bro.
Wait, there is?
And plus, porn category exists anyway. It's not that difficult to fucking figure out.
I forget the movies, but I know they had some that were DVDs back. I think this was like almost 4 or 5 years ago now.
Motherfucker, this isn't the 90s. We're not gonna go sit there through fucking 80 different movies trying to find the one scene of softcore porn. Like, what do you think this is, man?
Yo, you guys want to hear what happened to me with Netflix?
Oh God.
What?
I'm kind of glad we brought up like the whole tier system, how to improve Netflix. I'm kind of glad they're getting rid of the DVDs. I know that sucks for like huge movie nerds or like the old physical copies. But I remember when I was giving my Netflix out to certain friends, and I had gave it out to one of my friends, but his other mutual friend of ours, his name was Theo. He was a gay dude, very flamboyant. He's the one I told you that I went to go see him at a drag show once. Mm-hmm. And he came over, and I guess he saw that it was my account, and he wanted to fuck with me. So what he did is he went through the gay section of Netflix and ordered all these fucking gay DVDs. I had no idea this happened. I guess this was like a month before I received them.
Wow.
So I go to I get a call from my dad, and he's just like really like just like flabbergasted. He's like, "So son, is there something you want to talk to me about?" I was like, "What you talking about, Dad?" "Yeah, I got some of your movies here from Netflix, and one of them is like, oh, erotic homeboys. The second one was how to come out about being gay to your friends.
That's fucking great.
And the third one was I'm not gay. How to accept your own personal feelings." So he's like, "So you got something to say, son?" I'm like, "Well, thanks to that DVD, I can't defend myself, but I'm not gay, Dad. This is someone fucking with me."
He's like, "Is someone fucking with you or fucking you?"
And then I go on Netflix, and I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck's going on? Did I get hacked, or is one of my friends fucking me?" So I go on the order line, and there was 10 more that were supposed to come. One was called Ebony and Ivory, the story of a interracial gay love child. The second one was talking about, it was called Roses, and it was about this Italian couple, and it's all LGBT movies, and the Italian couple was on the cover embracing each other with the statue of David in the background.
Wait, I don't understand about the story. Did he charge your Netflix account, or did he pay for it himself?
I had the ability to get DVDs.
Yeah, like free ones.
So he just took it over and just sent me all this gay shit.
Dude, that's actually fucking awesome, but at the same time...
It was the guy from Paris. Fuck you.
Yeah, I would have been so pissed, though, dude. Nah, fuck that. Like, makes you awkward, me and my goddamn folks over your fucking joke. Like, no.
I can't even say, like, I'm not gay. Like, why'd you have to do that one?
Like, what if you were gay? Like, you just been forced to have that discussion.
I had a plan for this shit. Well, I guess I gotta fucking redo everything.
I know, and then what if, like, his dad calls him, he's like, "Hey, something you need to tell me?" "Yeah, I'm gay, Dad, because of this, and that." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, but these movies, though, you're gonna talk about that yet?" "Well,
no, if I was your dad, I would have fucked with you so much.
Oh, he still does. He still does.
Oh, no. I wouldn't have told you over the phone. I would have waited till you get home and be like, "So, we need to talk to you," and then just have the DVDs there.
Oh, no,
just so you didn't know for months.
I was like maybe 19 at the time, like, so I was already out the house.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, no, but thank you for that question, dude. Even though we thought it was a redo, it might have been. Maybe this thing fucked up. Exploit's been messing with me and redoing all my shit, folks. So I don't know.
It might have been a redo question, but it jogged some PTSD that I forgot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is new. This is at least somewhat new.
Okay, this is: if you died tomorrow and found out heaven was real, would you stay or would you come back if given the chance to do so? This is from Alan. Good job, Alan.
Yes.
Way to fucking make me depressed. I'm here. No, but once again, if
you want to talk about porn again?
Yes. No. If you died tomorrow, though, folks, I'm gonna read this one more time. If you died tomorrow and found out heaven was real, would you stay or would you come back, given the chance to do so? Alec, gonna ask you first.
Why me?
Just because you're probably not the most innocent version of this.
When did I die? Did I die young? Or did I die when I was older?
You die tomorrow.
Yeah, you die tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
You die tomorrow
okay,
and
I would come back.
I ran you over in a car.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But wait, would your question be different? Like, if you die young, it's like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna stay up here.
Well, yeah, if you die like 90.
Yeah, if I die 90, I'm like, okay, I'm staying in heaven.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It would be kind of cool to come back and you're like 85 years old and you get to like freak everybody out like, I saw Jesus. Like, you know.
No one would believe you.
Probably not.
But you would know the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I guess it makes sense. But yeah, Alan, how about you, sir?
Yeah, I would come back.
You would come back.
Because it's one of those things where it doesn't matter how old I am, because it's like when you're up there, it's over. It's done, you know. Mm-hmm. But at the end of it, one, I have my bird, who I'm not gonna leave, and also I still want to know what the rest of my life is gonna be. Because once you're up there, it's
for you, and you guys can meet up.
I'll end you. I know heaven's real. I know where you're going.
I'll go darker than Nick. I'll tell you what my fucking pastor told me when my dog died. Animals don't go to heaven, Alan. Mm-hmm.
Wait, where did he go?
I don't know. Apparently, hell. He was alluding that my dog was in hell.
Was he? No, I don't think he was alluding to. Actually, yeah, he was alluding that your dog was in hell. Jesus Christ. But no, like I get a lot of people like, oh, you know, it's up there, you get to see everyone. It's like, yeah, but then everything is over. It's like you don't get to have any more experiences. You're just kind of relaxing and chilling forever. It's like I still want to have a lot of experiences, be it good or be it bad. But it's like I'll be more happy living my life knowing the truth of what exists. But it's like, no, I want to know what else am I gonna experience. But more video games, movies, you know, love, all that shit.
Bible-wise, you're basically gonna go up there and chill until the war goes on with the devil, and then you're gonna do more shit than you ever have in your real life.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't feel like fighting a war. I'll just join the army for that shit.
Yeah. I guess I would love to join like God's army though, and just walk around with like these flamboyant
Man, that would
wings.
suck. They give you a sword and throw you out on the fucking battlefield with demons and shit.
I think God's wardrobe for his army might be a little too much, like fluffy wings and shit. Like I want to be like an angel, like go get him with like this fucking gun around my
Motherfucker,
head.
angels are specific. That's like saying, man, I want to be a general. That's not how that works. You're cannon fodder.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I mean, I don't know. It's like every movie I see, it's like even with Little Nicky, like they have these big ass capes and like they got these guns from the devil side.
Typically, it's the people that get left behind that fight the battle. If you get sent up there in Rapture, you just chilling up there.
Oh no, I thought he sends us all down to help.
No. If you get stuck on the earth, you have to fight for Jesus in order to get your spine to heaven.
Yeah, because what happens is it's during the rapture, so the believers are taken up to heaven. They stay there. The non-believers are to take down and fight the devil's army so that they don't reclaim the earth.
Oh wow, just saying she'll go to another universe. Fuck going back, or
that was not an option.
She'll be
Can't just
reincarnated
pick
into another
universes.
universe. Yeah, like man, see, if reincarnation is a choice, I'd be like, okay, reincarnate me. But then like, is it reincarnation to another human, or is it reincarnation?
No. You would come back. Basically, what like my entire question is like, you get, I don't know, hit by a car or some like unnatural death, and then you're up there, and it's like, oh, you get to see whatever family, or just chill up there forever and not have to worry about anything. Or you could be like, go back and like it's not like what was it, a Down to Earth or whatever that Chris Rock movie is. It was more of just like the last few moments of your death just get changed so that you live, and then you get to live out your life.
Okay, but no, I'm just been curious. Like, and this is like not even part of the question. I'm just curious. Like, when people talk about reincarnation, people that believe in that stuff, is it reincarnated into any other living thing, or could it be another human?
It depends on which fucking like religion you're talking about. Because I think Hinduism, they do reincarnate into it, but I think Buddhists they actually reincarnate to animals.
Damn,
I think it depends on your. Man, I would suck to be part of that. If I'm coming back, I ain't coming back as like a lizard. Fuck that.
Come back as a hamster.
Fuck that shit. I'll come back as a bird if I have a choice so I can fly, but fuck that.
No, I don't want to do that because then you gotta deal with people shooting you and shit. Like, you can't fly in the air. Like,
Not if you're an eagle. No one's shooting you.
Getting jacked by a fucking cat.
yeah. Oh,
Eagle.
Yeah, fuck that.
Eagle, man.
No, eagles still like they get shot down. Like, no.
American eagles don't actively get shot down, man.
I don't know. I feel like
You ever heard of poachers?
yeah,
And they
that's what I'm
suck.
saying.
The birds. These things can fly like 200 miles an hour. Fuck it.
This is
Not
what
faster
they
than a
do,
bullet.
man. I don't know, man. Like, I would be scared to be a bird. I'm just saying. I want to be something that's like cute and fuzzy, so like people just chill me inside the house and feed me bad food and shit.
I want to be a white girl's rich dog. There you go.
Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
God.
I want to be like, and not just for the perverted reasons, but I want like a rich girl with the booty shorts that just walks down the street and just nothing with her life. Like, come on, Fluffy, and like I get to go to like liquor stores and shit.
You'll
all the
last
time.
5 seconds before you kill yourself. There's a South Park bit about that where Paris Hilton's animals were murdering themselves because they didn't want to deal with
I
their
was thinking of
ass.
Paris Hilton. I was like, yeah, let me be Paris Hilton's dog so I can just.
There's
sit
an
there and
entire
eat ice cream.
South Park episode where there's visible animal murder on screen because they're all committing suicide because they don't want to deal with her.
Yeah, and I would say like let me be like a little boy or little girl's dog or whatever, but then like they don't know how to take care of it, so I'll be like my ass will be all shitty and everything, can't fucking wipe my ass, and fucking hair growing all crazy. Like I don't want all that. That'd be crazy. Anyway,
That's how you live, man.
No.
I don't know what the fuck. This is gonna be our last question. This is from Ruthless, and he says, "Silly scandal time. One of the other MCE hosts is in the middle of a scandal. However,
Yo.
it's beyond
Ganja.
Oh yeah, of course. He says pick the person and as well as picking the scandal. So you're saying Ganja?
Yeah,
What would
that's
be
immediate.
what would be the silly scandal that Ganja's in?
He fucking sent someone to a fucking hospital.
Wait, he said something to the hospital?
But that's not really
He's
wacky.
someone OD'd on some shit, and they're at a hospital right now.
That's not really wacky and silly, sir.
Yeah,
It's for how they got there.
Yeah, okay. But then again, like Ruthless, like silly and wacky, like shit, man. I haven't been in wacky mode since I was 4. But a bump up, like I don't know, like.
Jesus Christ.
But like, yeah, man. I guess I would say possibly. I can imagine Allie doing something. And I guess it's not really silly either, but I can imagine Allie like getting in a road rage situation and you
God.
And like a viral video goes on YouTube and it's like some crazy girl yells at me and it's actually Allie and she's like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I own a podcast, bitch."
No joke, man. I see those things all the time. Where in Britain and stuff like that, I can see Allie being on camera in a minute, just yelling at some guy. I told you, I fucking had my blinker on. You fucking didn't take the turn. What are you talking?
Learn to drive, motherfucker.
Man.
Oh god,
Like,
that'd be so real.
I know Allie's probably like, man, I would never do that shit. But you know, Allie, that's in you a little bit.
I don't know, man. I've heard you yelling at a car, Allie. So I recorded you. That'll be viral in a minute.
It's not my fault that other people don't know how to drive on the road.
It's not my fault that they ran into my blade.
What are the odds of that actually happening, Allie? Where you would literally get out of your car and just tell someone to go fuck themselves because they don't know how to drive?
Never. I really wouldn't.
Even if they crash,
Because it's a waste of time. People who do that, it's like, do you have nothing better to do with your life than like get out of your car and just yell at a person in another car? Like, just, yeah, you can get mad inside your car, but don't get out of your car and make a scene.
That's how you get shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm kidding.
And plus, there's traffic coming through too on the side. It's like I don't want to be that guy that's on the driver's side of somebody's window and yelling at him, and then some car comes by, just fucking takes me out. Like that would be a problem.
Family just Max said Ganja finally hooks up with a French girl, but he starts World War III.
I thought y'all don't know what Silly Wacky is. Silly Wacky is the scandal would be Nick and just someone had an opinion around him.
Oh, wait, that's you now. You are the new me, motherfucker. I'm nice as shit.
Nah, you have too much history with that shit. I might be just as bad as you when it comes to opinions, but the people don't notice.
I think, like, if I were to say about myself, I think something silly would happen is me getting my ass jumped and fucking some kind of Uber or something in New York or something. Like,
all right, y'all don't know the definition of silly and wacky. Let me get this started here.
No.
Yeah, y'all are gotten dark as fuck. Well, silly and wacky for me, I could see a scandal where me and Alan go to like Vegas or Amsterdam or something, and we push our tolerance a little too hard, and he gets caught in like just dancing around the street butt naked. I could see that fucking possibility.
Yeah. I honestly,
or jumping in the Hudson River in New York.
They were confused whether it was Bigfoot or a man running down the street.
Fuck you. No, it's confusing my ass for Bigfoot. Bigfoot's like 9 feet tall.
If it wasn't in fucking New York, they think it's a zombie for some reason. Because
oh my god, it's Frodo with his dick out.
My feet aren't that hairy.
That hairy.
No, man. Speaking of silly shit, people, like, just go to the double toasted parties, man. There's always some weird, silly shit going on.
I got
Adrian,
a
I'm
scandal.
talking about you. Like,
I got a scandal. I lost my friend 90s.
Yeah,
Oh,
and where he
Lord.
falls asleep in some dude's car.
You can see that on a headline. Drunk dude works up at Whataburger chef's car.
Yeah, or Trey falling in the street and rolling down. Like,
Look, let's just say this, no matter what.
I'm so fucked up because when you said that, I pictured him falling on his side and just tumbling.
Look, let's just say whatever the scandal is, God is partly responsible for it.
More likely.
Oh man, no, that shit. I'm so sorry, Trey.
He's laughing on the way down.
Whoa, no. Fucking Trey, man.
He
No.
did it all for the pizza.
It's fucked up because, like, dude, if I was there, dude, I would help any of my friends if they fall down and hurt themselves. But Trey, that particular thing with his voice and everything, I don't know if I can get him up. I'll be laughing too hard.
I will help him up, but I'll be laughing the whole time.
But that's it. I'll be laughing so hard, I don't know if my muscles can work. I'll just be like, no.
I might get paralyzed from the laughter, Ganja.
God damn. Yeah, man. I image that shit in my head. I'm sorry, Trey. It's hilarious, though. Anyways, yeah, moving on. That's it for the community questions, by the way. That was our last one. So, with that said, it's time to get into one long ass. I'm going to try to get this shit done as quickly as humanly possible. I'm not even going to show that flex and chill thing. I'm just going to go straight into it. Pow! We're going to be reviewing the Purge movies. We're going to be reviewing Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, first of all, I did watch Ant-Man today, and I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. And starting off, man, I thought Ant-Man was going to be some bullshit. Like, man, with all the humor and all the shrinking and the ants and all that bullshit, it was ridiculous.
Ants.
Yeah, it's
Ants.
silly. What are we doing?
Dude, the fucking one of the advertisements for the movie that came out for Ant-Man was just fucking Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd just going, ants, ants.
Really?
Dude, and no joke, that legit happened.
Wow,
weird.
that is actually ridiculous. But I gotta tell you, man, watch this movie. I really did not mind this at all. And I know it's old and everything like that too. It came out in 2015, so I mean, for nowadays, that's considered old. But like, Allie, I'm gonna ask you: have you revisited this movie at all?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat? What movie was it?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I haven't revisited it. I liked the first one. I didn't. That's like actually the first Marvel movie I haven't seen in the theaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just wasn't really like crazy about it to go out of my way to go to the theater. And then like I saw it and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was actually really funny. But yeah, like I really enjoy. I love Paul Rudd in it. I think he's a great Ant-Man, and Michael Douglas is really good. Or like Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like similar thing with like Marvel villains that the villain was really weak. But I thought they had some really creative action scenes, like with the stuff shrinking, or like when they had that play set and they were like, it was like a big huge thing, and and then you like look at it actually like at our like I guess world or whatever, and it's just like it's just like a little thing and it's no big deal. So I really like the creativity they used.
Yeah, the music with it too.
Yeah.
I like how the transitions actually go into a situation where it's like, oh my god, big, and then it's like nothing, and then like, oh my god, big, did comedy, and oh my god, big, and sad. It was cool. I like the back and forth with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really like it. So, it's a good Marvel film. It's very lighthearted.
No,
really
and
like
I feel the exact same way too. I really like. There's a lot of things about this too that I'm like, okay, way too much comedy, but at the same time, it is a fucking ant, and they even make fun of that too. There's parts where even the Falcon asks him like, "Wow, what's your name? Ant-Man?" She's like, "Huh?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm Ant-Man, motherfucker." Like, of course. And I kind of like that idea too of like they'll even crack jokes at themselves with this. But Alan, jokes, was it too much? Because I know you don't like Deadpool to a certain extent.
That was part of the phase where it's like Marvel just like I honestly feel like I'm really starting to get tired of Marvel's comedy, so I just don't feel like it's ever organic or just done well. And this one, this one was one of to me it's like it epitomized it in a sense of like I didn't mind the whole the name thing, like yeah, they're kind of poking fun at that, and I did definitely like the train set joke. But the joke to me it took me out of the scene because like they were having a legit heartfelt scene when Michael Douglas was talking to Evangeline Lilly about the mom. And I was like, wow, you're adding backstory, you're adding everything, you're adding more to this world, you're adding more to this character, you're doing it so emotionally, so great. And Paul Rudd just has to ruin the fucking scene with a joke. And
yeah, and I don't know what happened here. Hold on, folks.
Damn you, Paul Rudd!
Hold on, I'm gonna steal this. Well, damn, I can't even do that. People, I don't know what happened, but my goddamn.
Fucked up where you put the screens.
No, I closed the window. Is what happened. Basically, I was trying to show. We're gonna take a break, I guess, now, folks, for me to find this goddamn stream that we do.
Just keep the camera on me. I'll talk more, or throw it to Ali every now and then. We'll just talk more about the movie. But basically, while Nick tries to figure out what the fuck he just fucked up, and I just got blurry. Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't really like. It just took me out of the scene, took me out of the movie. But besides that, like again, like Ali said, this is very creative, especially with their use of CG. They're like making ants actually like almost like the worker bee size things of making them work really, really well. And it's like, yeah, they're all working together. They managed to work a lot of the science, which I didn't think would work or something like that. I'm like, yeah, a lot of things of like, I'm not gonna say it's all 100% scientifically accurate. I still have some questions about weight, but it's one of those things where it's like this movie does its best to get the science right, and for the most part gets it working really, really well. With the whole, getting smaller and him being stronger. Like his power comes from him being small as opposed to him being, normal size, like Iron Man. Whereas these suits, like no, him being small gives him the strength of like 15 men. So a punch is still a punch. And I really like them actually focusing on that a lot in the movie, focusing a lot on the science. And I think that's probably like one of the things I think separates this from like any other movie this could have been. Like this could have easily just been like, oh, we're not gonna bother, talking about it. But we're basically just gonna have a situation in which like we actually give you just enough to actually like, okay, this actually works in universe, and it doesn't negate a bunch of the other stuff. Because Hank Pym's character and I liked about it, it's like, what's he been doing all this time? It's like, yeah, he's just retired, but he used to be a hero back, when Captain America was in ice for like the 60s and 70s, was basically their own superhero. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool because you added a timeline to this universe.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I think that's good too. I think that they did a lot of work that doesn't necessarily happen on camera. That's like, okay, you're building this world, building this universe, building these characters to the point where now everything has a heaviness to it. Everything that happens is like, okay, you know what, there's something to this. It's not just, fodder for the fucking, it's not filler for the thing to continue.
Yeah, exactly. It adds to the universe. It's like the whole thing of like, I guess the whole thing of show don't tell, but this movie does a bit of both to help make this work. Because this is one of the things where it feels like a Phase 1 Marvel movie, and I like it for that.
Mm-hmm.
Where as much as I have problems, it feels like something that could have come alongside of Iron Man, Thor, and all that stuff, and fit right within there. Because the tone and just how it goes. But again, I really feel like Marvel doesn't know how to do jokes properly. I feel like there are a lot of times they're forced. Like, I feel like if you took the jokes out of Ant-Man, maybe not all the jokes, but some of them were like most of Paul Rudd's comedy. If you took most of Paul Rudd's comedy out of this movie, I think the movie would have been better for it.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even necessarily Paul Rudd's, because Paul Rudd, I mean, him being so goofy really makes him likable in my opinion.
Right.
But Michael Pena, dude, that dude does not shut the fuck up. Like that. There's a couple times where he was funny, but it's like him and his bubbling fucking friends and like.
Oh God, I hate his friends.
Yeah.
Fucking Tweedledee, Tweedledum in the car.
Yeah, dude, like that shit's just fucking ridiculous. But then again, like what solves it later on is Michael Douglas pretty much saying like, "Hey guys, these guys are irritating, and I cannot fucking stand them myself." And I like that Michael Douglas is always grumpy and just kind of sick of these guys too. Because if we're sick of it, that's part of the character Michael Douglas. So we're supposed to like him more because he's relating to us and vice versa. So it's like it solves itself every time it does something that's stupid. For a minute, I'm like, "Oh, that's fucking annoying," but it solves itself because there's a reason why it does it. And I thought that was a big thing. And granted, this is going to be a very, very small review. One last thing to bring up. Oh, no, it wasn't going to be a joke. But the thing is like, yeah, even though it's going to be a very short, small, whatever the fuck review, for me to bring up this very, very last thing before you get into ratings, the villain, man. That villain, the design for the suit is fucking incredible.
It's
love
cool
the
shit.
design. Yeah, and then like the powers of those, like the stingers shooting the the lasers, that was cool as shit. Fight scene, like Ali said, I thought it was okay. She liked it a lot. I can see why. But, man, it's like right away, it was so obvious he was a villain. Like, just the bald head. It was almost like the white version of Tyler Perry movie. Where it's like,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was weird. But, like, what'd you think about him, especially, like, just without the suit? Like, what'd you think of the guy?
I thought he was fine. I thought I actually liked him better in the suit than outside. Sorry, I liked him better in the businessman stuff because he's a great businessman villain. But I felt that the movie's like, okay, last 45 minutes, this guy's crazy now, and he's gonna kill a child. It's like, man, come on, you just needed a villain for the third act.
Yeah.
You could do the boring businessman for the whole thing. But I liked him as a businessman more than a jackal. It's just to me, he's just way more interesting.
Yeah. Ali, what'd you think of the villain? I know you brought it up a little bit earlier, but like, with him not being in the big creature suit, like, what'd you think of him as just a normal guy?
I mean, I thought it was fine and made sense, I guess. I don't really know that much about Ant-Man, like, in the comics, except for the whole, like, they had a domestic abuse situation.
Oh, wait, really? Oh, shit. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay, I was trying really hard not to get into that, which I thought, it's screwed up, but I actually thought that made the comic stand out. But for the most part, yeah, I thought the villain was, like I said before, he was a typical Marvel villain, very forgettable. Nothing really to him, though.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, like to get into ratings, and I'm gonna let you go first too, Ellie. Like, what would you rate this out of our rating system? Because it's been a while, so I don't know if it got worse within time for you. But what would you give this?
I would give it a stream it, like a high stream it, almost rent it. But I just don't feel like you really have to like go out of your way. Like if you see it, if you're browsing through a streaming service like Netflix or something, and you see it on there, you're like, oh, that's Ant-Man. Oh, yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. But for the most part, yeah, I just don't think that it's really worth like going out of your way to try to find. So yeah, that's what I would give it.
Okay, and like for me, yeah, and I'll save Alan for last, but yeah, for me, it's definitely a rent it for me. I think this is one of those movies that if it was like $3 something you rent it for one viewing for maybe like a day or something on PSN or whatever, this is great. This is awesome to watch some of those scenes and everything too. There's a lot of things about this that I feel like when there's something wrong, it corrects itself, which is cool. But at the same time, I had to get back to the issue of just like, stop with the fucking jokes. Michael Pena is the epitome of side guy, and it's like, you know, you could be a side guy nowadays and still be pretty interesting. And instead, it's just like, hey, like, I'm Ant-Man's friend. It's, you know, fuck you. Like, don't do that shit to me. So yeah, rented for me. Alan, what would you give it, sir?
Honestly, I actually stream it. It's just because it's harmless. You'll find some cool stuff into it, but like, it's one of those things where I honestly don't think you should just pay. Like, it's probably gonna be on Netflix at some point, so you technically already paid for it. Don't go out of your way to watch this. There's some good scenes. And Michael Douglas is really the best part of this movie, but it's one of those things where it's like there's some interesting visuals. But you basically, if you said I never want to watch this movie, and then you just watch Civil War and be like, I got enough of Ant-Man, it's like, yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's gonna be a thing when it's just me and you talking, Alan. It's
Yep.
time to get into Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Or as I like to call a movie, The Wasp, and Ant-Man's kind of there sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, no, actually, man, you're
That
not
trailer
wrong.
misleads you to think that this is a buddy cop movie. That is not what this movie is from the right fucking get-go.
And that's a good decision, in my opinion, though. I do
Yeah, I
think
agree.
that this, if it was a buddy cop movie, this would be fucking garbage. I will say, too, though, they mislead you on a few things. We'll get into those
It
in a little
misleads
bit.
you on the whole movie. The entire premise of the movie makes it seem like... Okay, this is what the trailer makes it seem. Ant-Man and the Wasp are working together after the events of Civil War, even though they're still incarcerated. The villain, Ghost, comes in to just fuck some shit up, and they're on the run from everybody. That's what the movie makes it seem like. No. There's so... Like, the scene we're showing right now is like the last 45 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, and there's parts, too, where you see them both, like, you know, you can tell they're in dire straits. Oh, my God, what's going to happen? You know, me and you are looking at something. Oh, no. This is actually a happy scene. This is happy.
Oh, yeah!
Right here.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what that scene is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, dude, like, okay, you guys really, I mean, and like I said, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say, like, oh, man, this is supposed to be a lot darker. Right when the movie starts, I mean, there's parts where he's doing goofy sounds, and he's playing with his daughter, and then, like, it was, like, joke after joke after joke, and cute after cute after cute, and I'm like, okay, they hammered this in my head so fucking much, this better be a cute movie, because if something bad happens at this point, you just completely changed the whole tone of this movie, and they didn't. They actually stuck with it. And I was like, you know
The child actors were terrible. Like, I don't remember her in the first one being that obnoxiously annoying, but I'm like, man, that I don't know. Like, I know we don't hate kids in movies, but like the fucking girl that they kept calling Peanut, I'm like, man, like I get it, you're supposed to be the cute girl, but it's like you're hamming this up way too much,
I
like
mean, she
way
had it
too
to
much.
the point where she's being like almost like, yeah, she's being inadvertently like mean almost about how it's like weird her love for her father, because I mean they already established in the first movie he's not around there. Like he shows us her birthday party in the first movie, like, oh, I want to miss your birthday,
well,
but I'm not paying child support, you know.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like she doesn't get it because she's so young. Because it's like, yeah, her parents don't, you know, they're not together because of jail and all that stuff. And it's like, but she doesn't understand that, so she's just happy as hell to see her parent. I'm okay with that, 100%. I get that all the time. But it's just, I don't really, I don't know. I think that I just don't think she was doing her job right. But then I guess she's like freaking like 5, so I can't really sit there and be like, well, that actor really needs to work harder. Yeah, after a juice box, like,
Yeah.
you know.
But it's also a direction thing too, because I actually get when you complain about that in a sense, because it's like, you know, you make her do so much of like, Daddy, ah, and it's like it's so lovey-dovey. I'm almost like, this kid's like fucking weird. Like, like there's something. I don't think most daughters act like that with their dads. Like that's kind of creepy. But at the same time, like, you know, I'm not trying to send you, by the way, that Ant-Man's touching her or some shit, you know, but
You were, but sure.
it's just, it's almost like she's gonna eat him or something. Like, I mean, I thought like maybe they're controlling her brain. That's what I thought the twist was gonna be. I was like, man,
No, this is not Jurassic World. It's not some stupid bullshit where she's a clone.
I cannot trust movies
Spoiler,
anymore.
God damn.
No, honestly, man, like I can't trust movies anymore. Like,
What did I spoil for you?
The ending of Jurassic World, bro.
Yeah.
That's not the ending of Jurassic World, buddy. It's not even in there.
You know, believe it or not, it's not the ending, but it is a big twist. It just doesn't happen at the right time.
Man.
That
Go
fucking
watch
movie's
the
so-
movie
that movie's
right
so
now.
fucking stupid. Wait, did you really not know that?
No,
I thought he watched the movie.
I didn't. I just had you spoil it for me, so I didn't know that already. I was just saying. that for the audience.
Honestly, Alan did you a fucking favor, bro. Like,
Honestly, I'll tell you this right now. It'll make no sense in context.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. God damn. I people every time he brings up Jurassic World, I'm like surprised. Like, yeah, that movie does suck that bad. Like,
It does. I don't blame him for not fucking watching that
In like
garbage.
4 months, he's gonna be like, "That exists."
Yeah, it's crazy. People like, oh, that movie's so bad.
Anyway, back to not Jurassic World, but back to an actual sequel that manages to establish a lot of new stuff, bring stuff back from the original, and actually be overall a fun time movie. And guess what? This is what fun looks like, not the fucking slave auction that was. And that's in the trailer, Gotcha, not a spoiler. Not the fucking slave auction that was Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom.
And that's the thing too. Like this movie, you know, like with these guys too. I want to bring these up again. While I hated the bumbling
Tweedledee and
idiots,
Tweedledum.
yeah, you know, while I hated them in the first one, here they were on there and they had a very stupid ass scene, but it was just once. And like,
but yeah, that's one of my problems with this movie. I feel like they bring those guys in because they're in the first movie, but basically forget that they exist, and they're only. I don't even know why they're there. You can like not so much you can cut their scenes because they're needed for the plot later on, but there's a lot of characters in this movie that are so unnecessary to have any more of like to have anybody noticeable because like they walk into there and go, oh. Like, any information they do when they walk in there could be surmised through any other means possible. They don't need Michael Pena and his crew. During the actual heist, they still don't need Michael Pena and his crew. He's just there because, fuck it, I was in the last Ant-Man movie. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like they're the most... Judy Greer and her husband are also really useless as well. Like, every single character that had some sort of plot relevance in the first one is just kind of thrown off to the side. And honestly, in my opinion, it's better for the movie. But they bring them back, and it's worse for the movie because the movie focuses a lot more on the development between Evangeline Lilly and her father, Michael Douglas, in the movie. And I really enjoyed that. And they're focusing more on the actual quantum realm, which we only got a taste of in the last one. And what I love about Marvel, and what I love about the connection is, and this seems purposeful, is when you actually see when Michael Douglas goes into the quantum realm, it looks exactly like the CG that they use in both Doctor Strange and Infinity War for the Infinity Dimension.
Yeah, it feels like an actual dimension exists.
Yeah, I feel like that's purposeful because what it is they're trying to show that science and magic are almost the same thing. We just don't understand magic enough because it's some science we just don't get yet.
Yeah, magic is just a terminology that we use for science that we don't know what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. We just say magic, but it's like the mirror dimension. That could just be some version of the quantum dimension that they have control over. Their powers can come from there. And I really, really enjoyed that attention to detail. And I do like what they did with the, much as about the character where because I wish she kind of comes back, like when you kind of see what the mom comes back as, that's one of my biggest problems with this movie. Wait, can we go spoiler with this, by the way?
We shouldn't. Because,
I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but can we go spoilers?
You know what? Let's not go spoilers. We'll save the spoilers for next week. But there's a scene where, and people, you guys already know this because even everyone talks about this. Michelle Pfeiffer's in the movie, and she plays the mother, and the mother does show up in the first like 2 seconds in the movie. So I mean, we're not gonna tell you what happens with that particular person, and what happens with the mother, or the fate of these characters. But Michelle Pfeiffer. What are you gonna say about Michelle Pfeiffer, by the way?
Oh, I was gonna say some other stuff that might be because it's so I won't go in there. But I like how she portrayed the mother. I think that it could have been better done throughout the movie. But I did feel like the relationship between all the characters were real, even though they played up the whole kid interaction too much. But I think that's the best part of this movie is all the interactions feel real. Everybody feels like they don't feel like they're in a comic book movie. They feel like they're in a real movie because like Paul Rudd is probably the best he was. He's better in here than he was in the first Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man, he was trying too hard to be like, oh, I'm broken down. But with this, like, we do kind of see where he's so bored out of his mind, he's doing anything. And I really think that really feels a lot to what the movie actually does really well. It does showcase this real well. I think that a lot of the supporting characters, like if you get the main three, Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly, and Paul Rudd, and the villains, all of them do a great job. I actually do like the villains. I think they're a little underperformed because they just didn't get as much screen time, but I really did enjoy Ghost, and I really did enjoy the other villain. My problem with this is that I think that every supporting cast member sucks. I think that the FBI agent that shows up is there for some shit jokes.
And Walter Goggins from Tomb Raider.
Walter Goggins from straight out of Tomb Raider, by the way, same character. Him and his buddies are just there for Evangeline Lilly to beat the shit out of. The fucking, parents and his friends are just there for a few jokes. Like, I feel like every single supporting character is terrible, where every main character is amazing. So it's like, it's this weird balance of, like, I think this movie would change mid-production, because I don't know how, like, it's weird. When you see Infinity War, and you're like, how the hell did they have the balls to do that? Part of me is thinking that there's so many movies in development that I think a lot of movies had to be changed because of the ending of Civil War. because it feels like it just threw a wrench into the Marvel machinery. Because this movie feels out of order, where out of order is the wrong word. It feels disjointed, where they focus so much on the characters, but they didn't focus on the world around it, and that's what throws me out the most about this movie. I think it's just as good as the original, just to kind of bring it back. Action scenes were good, but I think that it didn't have the same problem. It had this problem with Black Panther. It was like the action scenes were there. They weren't long enough for me to enjoy, because I love choreographed fight scenes, but you really didn't see anything outside the trailers. They were cool. I love the car chases. The car chase is probably my favorite scene in the movie, but I didn't get something like I would have got at a Civil War Winter Soldier. I didn't get that like long 2-minute fight scene. I got like a quick she punches a few dudes and it's over.
Yeah, and I feel the exact same way in that sense. One thing too, and by the way, like that right there, and that's probably where we're gonna kind of like separate a little bit is. You don't care about the stuff that's like, oh, well, yeah, it's stuff from the trailer, blah, 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 and it was still good. For me, I gotta tell you, I mean, I appreciate that the movie does have stuff that, we can't spoil, so it's like, okay, I do feel like I got something extra in that sense, because I do need context to see what these things are gonna, come out to. But, good God, the trailer shows you everything. Like, those fight scenes, you get nothing more than those. And I'm not even talking about, like, a combination of all the trailers. I'm talking about, like, just one of these trailers to show you all the fucking action scenes.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because it's like, dude, this is an action movie. And granted, I'm glad that it came there for the comedy. I'm glad that there's so much comedy that's not in the trailers. I'm like, man, this movie's actually really funny and it's cool. But it's like, dude, like the purpose of this is an action movie, and then like it's gonna connect obviously to Avengers and the whole thing, the Infinity War. And we just got through shit where we were crying at the end of Avengers Infinity War. I mean, this was intense stuff, and then Black Panther was so crazy, and it's like, this is what you got for us? Really?
I think that obviously they could have, like, it's weird because like I think this movie's already slated for this time. I'm okay with it. Sometimes you need a little bit of like, because that was heavy. Like the past 2 years are heavy, and it's like our past 2 movies have been heavy. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay with a little lightheartedness. Yeah. It connected it does connect. Like for people that are wondering if this does connect to there, it does connect, and it does explain a lot of what's happening with why it wasn't in Infinity War, and it works. And I think that the fact that it connected to me was like, okay. You did bring it back. And I think to a certain degree you need a little bit of lightheartedness. Could you imagine if they had another depressing year? It's like, hey, Marvel year of sadness.
Yeah. And, Jason Jones, he's saying, wow, being funny in a comedy? You don't say. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, too, is like, maybe he's probably referring to me in essence, Ganja, because it's like, I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I'm laughing at a comedy. And it's like,
I'm sorry, but I hate that fucking ding. Oh, it's a comedy, it doesn't need to be deep. That's just something people say so they don't have to be deep and they can just be stupid.
I disagree. Sometimes you don't really need to have a message or a point across here. Just having
but this is a movie in which the first one had a comedy and actually deep in a message. And again, continuing the trend of the movie series, you continue because Ant-Man is part of its own thing. So it's like, yeah, the movie, the comedy in here just to me grinds the movie to a halt. My biggest problem with this movie is the comedy in this movie grinds it to a halt. It goes from, hey, I'm kind of enjoying this. That was kind of funny, to punch you in the face. We're going to do a joke. Okay, we're going to fucking remove the ice. Let's get back to the movie. I won't say the full extent of this joke. Fuck you. The fucking truth serum joke is so bad. It is as bad and as drawn out as the fucking Taserface joke from Guardians 2. Oh my god. I was almost yelling at the screen, get on with the movie. This isn't funny.
This wasn't made for you, sir.
Fuck you!
No, because the thing is, and
throw something at you if I fucking could.
And we can't say too much about this particular joke because it does lead us out to spoilers too.
I'm just gonna leave it there. True serum joke, and you'll trust me, you'll know it. They won't let you forget it.
Yeah, and for me, it's like the amount of times I've seen it happen in the movie when it was started in the middle and it happened like 3 times. So it's like I do disagree with Alan in that sense. I don't think it's a great joke, but I laughed. I was like, oh, funny, whatever, something, blah blah blah. Just lame shit. But the thing is, like, one thing that's frustrating to me is they have these characters, like now I'm gonna sound like I'm stupid. I couldn't focus, and I did focus, but it's like there's so much storylines going on for a movie that's just supposed to be a stupid comedy. We got Michael Pena has a backstory about his business that's going on, and I can't say much about that 'cause it's a spoiler, but that's going on. You got fucking your boy Ant-Man going through, he's on house arrest. He can't leave the fucking house, but then he wants to stay at the house. But then he has a situation with the villain that's going on. But then a situation like a romance going on. You got Michael Douglas trying to rekindle some kind of romance that he had going on. And then and then the movie starts off with the Michelle Pfeiffer character, the mom, and the movie starts off talking about that. And then it just goes away because 10 other issues happen, and it's like, well, we'll get to our main story when we can. but we got like 2 villains. Actually, no, technically 3 villains. One villain was a twist that turned into a villain that wasn't before. There is so many villains and heroes and side characters and storylines where I'm like, did we even finish all this? Like, I think
actually, that's what I loved about it, because to a certain degree, like every plot. I'll tell you this, Nick, without going to spoilers. Maybe we'll talk about this after the show. Every single storyline interacts with every other storyline in a way that I did not expect in a movie. Where it's like when you pointed out that to me, because when I finished, I'm like, yeah, everything was explained. I have no questions. But then when you explain there's 10 different plots, I'm like, oh my god, there is. But I could tell you where every single one intersects to the main plot. I could tell you where every single one somehow connects and actually moves the story to some direction.
Yeah, and I mean, and I guess I could too, but it's just kind of like I can imagine somebody going into this and being like, "Yo, but what happened with the thing?" Like, and this isn't a trailer, but the lab and Michael Douglas makes this makes it short or small, whatever the fuck. But it's like it's a big ass building. You tell me no one else saw that building like turn into a little Rubik's cube, and then no one has any questions when Douglas turns into a huge building in the middle of the fucking street for the third act.
Oh, that one was an abandoned area of the city.
Yeah, and then way too much situations happen where people are just cool with like crazy Marvel shit happening. Like, I mean, I thought it was kind of like odd at the end of the first one.
Bro, they got invaded twice by aliens. Come on, at this point you're like building. Fuck, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but I mean, there gets to a point where like Ant-Man's clear across an area. He's not supposed to be at a certain area. He's supposed to be as house with house arrest, and these guys keep trying to go to the place. And this motherfucker has. I think there's another power that we haven't really heard of. He can like disappear and just transport in places like within a second. Like,
no, I think the thing is no. I think the better explanation is apparently only 10 people that work at the FBI. Because if you could sit there and be like, "Oh, Ant-Man, hey, I suspect that the person might not be at the house. Well, let me call a random officer or anybody within the vicinity." No, I'm gonna personally drive there twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm like, yo, call a bro up, man.
And then like, it has plot time. Like the timing works at plot speed where it's like everything happens like a minute. It's like, hey, 3 seconds. 5, 4, 3, and then like something happens like, okay, 2.5, 2 1/4, 2 3/4 of a quarter, 2. Actually, technically 3 because this thing happens. 1 3/4. It's like, dude, just. Come on, time does not work this fucking way. Like, you can't get there in this amount of time. You've told us you can't do
it. Ants. Any plot of convenience. How do we get across there? Fly the way. I really got to look up how flying ants work, because I'm pretty sure it's only a queen ant, and I'm pretty sure they don't live long once they fly. They need to form a nest.
Yeah.
I would have to look that up, because flying ants are like the fucking eagles in this fucking movie. They just get everywhere. They're the Eagles from Lord of the Rings in this movie, because they get people from across the world whenever they need to, and they show up as convenient as possible.
Jason Jones, seriously, Alan will watch a porno and complain that there's too much
fuck you, Jason. You can't just put. I'm sorry, but I hate you and I hate Ganja for this exact thing of, well, slap comedy on it and we can just forgive all this stupid bullshit.
No,
well, it's a comedy. Don't worry about it.
Sometimes you just want to have stupid fun. Like, I made some very similar humor throughout this show. You just want to have stupid fun and not have actual political commentary behind it.
Yeah, I'm not saying this movie needs to have political commentary, but you can't just slap the fucking word comedy on something and not sit there and excuse the stupid bullshit that fucking happens. Why not just have fucking Kevin Smith direct the shit and call it fucking Weekend at Bernie's 4?
I think what it really is, Ganja, and to explain even better, it's like when we came in, especially with the trailer, it's not a stupid comedy. Like, when we come in, we're like, okay, it's stupid at first, and then they're like, wait, okay, you guys enjoying the comedy? Hold on. Man, there's this big death scene. This guy's going through a lot of emotional turmoil, and he's just trying to. I'm like, oh, okay. And then farts. Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? I think I was feeling something, and you just like made like a butt joke or a stupid.
It was gas, sir. That's why
that fucking happens in the first movie. There's a fucking emotional, stirring scene where Michael Douglas is explaining the fate of the fucking mother, and it's like a scene that I was like really enjoying. And the part where it goes, "Hi, sorry for ruining this beautiful moment. I'm just gonna stand here." It's like, what are you doing?
It's like if I was in a room with you, Ganja, and I was like, man, dude, this thing happened to me when I was a kid, man. I was so fucked up, man. Anyways, man, you got some big old titties.
Like, that's funny, though, because it's...
man, that's not funny. That ruins the moment.
It's real. Like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to do.
Imagine during the fucking MLK speech, "I have a dream," and Depp goes, like, stupid.
Look, all right. See?
No, you guys are both wrong. I'm sorry. I don't care how this went down. You guys are both fucking. Fuck all of y'all. Fuck this review.
Funny. The laughs don't lie, Alan. You can walk away from the show. You can't walk away from the laughter. Penelope walked away too.
No, you're on camera. You're staying on fucking camera.
Penelope's like, what are you doing?
How the fuck does my camera work? There we go.
Oh,
I quit.
He laughs so hard. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Jesus
Thank you for proving my point, Alan.
No, that's not the point.
Hey, clean the goddamn room. No, but...
My room is clean.
Sorry, man. I really just want to see Martin Luther King do that shit. Just like,
you guys are the worst. You guys are literally the worst.
I'm gonna rewatch this scene so many times. Oh, that's so good.
Whatever. Let's move on to God's favorite comedy series of all time, The Purge.
You damn right.
No, man, but like, yeah, for me, when it comes to Ant-Man and Wasp, I just like I said, you know. And by the way, like the villain too. The villain is, man, they gotta stop this. And this is not a spoiler either, in a sense, because technically she's still a villain. Like, I'm not gonna say that there's a big twist thing. There really isn't. But it's like they keep trying to give you reasons to think that, man, I see where the villain's coming from. Fuck you with that shit. Can you just make a villain instead of making...
I like that though, because like I know what you're trying to say is like, oh, sympathetic, but I like the sense of like it really gave depth to the character. Like one of my biggest problems, I just feel like maybe they should have spent more time with her. But it's like, I know what you mean. It's like, oh, stop making these people, you know, sympathetic. But it's like, I'm okay with that, because it's like, to me, when there's situations where the villain's like, I'm gonna still do stuff, it's like, it's that issue you're pushing with the audience, is like, how sympathetic are you gonna make them before, like, she does do some straight like evil shit, or she wants to do some straight evil shit, and people are telling her no. So I'm okay with that, because it's like how far are you gonna push this sympathetic stuff before we're like, yeah, fuck you? Because it gets to the point where it's like, shit, at this point I'll kill you myself.
Well, there's points where she even has options, and then, you know, like, it is what it is. I can't really discuss too much what happens, but it's like, she picks the most, like, well, this I could do the same thing but not be a villain, but I want to be a villain, though. And she does a villain shit, but then they try to play some music when, you know, certain things happen, and it's like, oh, but I kind of see where she's coming from. Like, no. You know, people give shit to Marvel about, oh, you can't make villains, and then they did Killmonger, and it was like, okay, you know what? Great villain. He was scary as fuck.
And sympathetic.
Yeah, granted he was sympathetic, but at the same time, he was a piece of shit. He killed his girlfriend, like, just said, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. I gotta get to where I gotta get to. I gotta get to Wakanda. Like, blah, blah, blah. He did his thing. And, you know, he's ruthless. And that's cool. But Thanos was not so ruthless. Thanos, you know, I mean, he kills half of universes and, like...
buddy, do you not see the start of the movie where he actively murders Loki?
He was crying when Gamora died. Like,
he murdered Loki, and then murdered
shit. Like, I would
what's
kill
his face,
Loki.
Idris Elba, and then almost murdered Thor. Like, is ruthless in that movie.
Ruthless is a wrong word. I'm trying to find a word. Like, he's not sympathetic to the people he kills. Like, Killmonger, you know, like, he wasn't sympathetic, but Thanos was what I'm trying to say. Like, Thanos is a person who does feel like, sorry I had to do this, but I'm taking off your shit. Like, there's
gravitas to whatever he murders, where Killmonger's just doing it for a goal, and I get that. But to me, it's like, I like that. I know what you mean, because you want just straight like, muhaha, I am villain, I kill everything. I'm like,
well, not even that, but just like someone who actually is a villain. Like all these other ones, it's like, okay, the reason why you guys are saying that these villains are sympathetic, or that it's like, oh, I like this villain because I see where it's coming from. It's like, now that's kind of like, you're kind of like cheating, because it's like, you make him a little bit of a good guy so he can be on his side, but he's a villain, so it's like, oh, it's kind of cool now. It's like, no, it's not cool. Write a fucking villain that I hate, that I still like, but, like, he's actually a villain. Like, you know, I think it's cheating to make him somewhat, like, you know, rational, whatever the case may be.
I don't know. I like that kind of stuff, because I mean, for me, one of the best ones was Zod from Man of Steel. I know a lot of people don't like that movie, but like, you could almost see where he was coming from, but he is overt. Like, you need to stop this fucking guy. But to me, it's like, especially in this movie, when you see what's going on, it's like, no, this works really, really well. It's like the whole Zemo thing from Civil War, where it's like, you understand 100% where he's coming from, but he is objectively the bad guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He is actively trying to destroy the Avengers. Yeah. And it's like, but you see 100% where he's coming from. So it's like, I think they could do it. Did they do this 100% well here? No, but I felt like if they just spent less time on the stupid side characters, and more time on her, I think we could have got another good villain.
Yeah. So moving on to ratings and everything too. I honestly, this movie, I give it. Here's the thing. I'm gonna give it a stream it because as an actual movie, like let's just say a year from now, and people look back at this review, they're gonna be like, okay, well, which one's better? And I do feel like the first one's better. But to be honest, it's a movie there. Go spend some money on it. You know what I mean? I give it a stream it, but it's like you should go see it. Because it does have some scenes that are pretty cool. It's nice to see it, you know, in the big screen, blah, 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 the whole fucking thing. But at the same time, it's like, you know, as far as storylines go and shit like that too, it's like it is confusing, and it's one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I just want to have fun, or I want to like go to a movie that I know what it's gonna be. I don't need 3 genres, 10 storylines, and fucking 3 villains.
Oh Lord, you people are so like, I don't want to think. I just want to have dumb fun. I just want to do that. Why not just jangle keys in front of your fucking like screen for 2 hours? Like, come on, people.
Hey, if that entertains the folks, give it to them.
Lord. What would you give this movie, you asshole?
I was gonna go grab some fucking keys so I could entertain you guys during my review, but I would say give it a stream. It's one of those things where it's like it's a fine movie. It's not. There's nothing wrong with it objectively, except for I think most of the jokes just fall flat. But I think it's one of those things where it's like I still enjoy myself watching the movie. I never checked the time. I never was like saying like, oh god, I need to get out of here. I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying. I sat through the whole time and enjoyed the hell out of it. But it's one of those things where it's like if I saw this today versus last or next week, I don't think that it would have like. You don't need to rush out to see it. I think you can take your time. If you hear this review and you're like, I don't feel like seeing it, wait till for it to come on Netflix. Wait till it come on DVD. Wait till someone sends it to you in through a mailbox USB. But like at this point, like you don't need to fucking like rush out to see this movie. But if you end up watching it, you'll probably like it.
Yeah. Now, this one will be very, very quick with. I want to go even more than fucking even 3 minutes in this one. But people, guys, how about? And I don't know what to call this movie. I guess I'll just call it The Purge. But it's technically the first purge, but we can't call it that because
divided by 1.
Annoying.
The very first purge.
Yeah, exactly. No, shut up, you dumbass. This is The Purge. This first movie with Ethan Hawke and Lena Headey. I never heard of her before, but whatever. I actually did not mind this movie. Now, the reason why I didn't watch this before is because of the fact that I think people are really talking a lot about the Purge movies, like in a good sense, and kind of overhyping it a little bit, just because of the concept. Did you ever feel like it was overhyped, Dylan?
Not overhyped, but I heard the concept and I'm like, the concept. For people who don't know what the concept of the purge is, basically. Sorry, I just
call the cops on her.
Dude, you read the same shit I did. I'm like,
all right, I'm gonna say the joke I typed in.
Okay, so, you do the joke.
Are they selling lemonade, Jenny?
Be very careful on who they are.
Yeah, if they're of a certain color, you might want to not do that, so you're not responsible for some fucked up shit.
Just make sure they're not barbecuing.
If they're white, just go for it.
Yeah, if they're white, then you know they're all gonna just high five each other.
If they're white, the cops are not coming anyways.
Shit, what society are we in right now? It's like, yo, I gotta call the cops on these people. Fuck, I don't want to get turned into a meme.
I'm gonna be the one to say this, but Jenny, you do have the voice of a I'm gonna call the cops ass motherfucker. Like I'm not very surprised you're gonna be calling the cops. But actually, you should probably tell us what's going on.
Never call the cops, Jenny. This is a.
No, don't let it go, John.
You never call the cops for no reason.
They're shooting fireworks so close to my home, and they're like, "Oh, you're fine. Call the FBI."
Oh yeah, no, they'll just be like, "Hey, can you cut that out?" "Yes, sir. Thank you. You want a coffee?"
They start firing. They start firing fireworks at the cops. The cops are firing bullets back. Going, how much fireworks do they have? I don't know. They're Americans.
I would say, Jenny, go get yourself some Roman candles and fight back.
Yeah.
Also, it's been like 3 days. How much fireworks did you buy that you got?
America.
Actually,
I know, but it's been 3 days.
No, Jenny, just put us really loud and put the bass on us, and then just play us outside your window.
And they'll just sit down and listen to our reviews.
Exactly.
So back to it. But basically, for people that don't know, so we're still talking about the Purge. So for people that don't know what the concept of the Purge is, basically, for some fucking reason, I don't know how this got passed in any sort of Congress or anywhere on any universe ever. But basically, they passed a law in which once a year for 12 hours, you get the ability to purge. And what that means is that all laws are legal. Every single thing from stealing to murder and everything in between. You can destroy a bunch of cars. You can light. I think arson isn't on the list, but I know you can burn stuff, but you can't burn buildings down. There are some rules, but for the most part, like let's say you just went out and just smashed some guy's car that you hate.
Well, you can't kill an off-duty cop too. By the way, that's another thing. They even put Anyone that's over level 10 something something, like, you can't fuck with them.
Yeah, certain politicians, I think, like above a senator, certain police officers, I think firemen you can do whatever the fuck you want with, and paramedics. They're just like the police and politicians are the only people you can't kill, but everybody else is fair game. Anyone caught out on the street is fair game, and that's a concept of this. And in my head, I was like, this is stupid as fuck. First of all, nobody would ever pass this in any sort of economy with any sort of president. I don't care if Trump's in office forever. This will never get passed. It will never get passed. Anybody will be like, this is such a dumb concept idea. Even if politicians are like, well, I'm going to be safe. Yeah, well, guess what? I'm sure you got a niece or nephew that won't be safe. Like, no one's ever going to pass this. Republicans and Democrats will not pass this shit. But, and then, as I was doing that, and then my second thing is like, even if that's the case, why is murder the focus? If I didn't get if I'm not getting arrested, I'm stealing 8 flat screens. I ain't losing a wink of sleep tonight. So it's like, why is murder the focus? I just avoided these movies. I'm like, these are so stupid. Like,
yeah. Jenny says her purge is torn to shove everything that she wants. Yeah. That's awesome. No, man, like, that's the thing. I was thinking about that watching the thing. I was like, man, there's situations where they're, you know, well, not even the first movie, but like in Anarchy, there's situations where I'm like, you could easily steal from a bunch of places and you're not doing it. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Now, this first, the first one, I like that it doesn't even give you enough. It's just telling you one situation with these people, and it's not telling you much else because, you know, granted, we're just, you know, this is how the purge affected one family. There's probably tons of stealing and raping and all this other shit going on. But in this particular situation, it's just murder.
It's just a home invasion, and I did enjoy this storyline because when I sat down and watched it because the third one came out, and I had some sort of weird psychological tick when I see a new movie coming out. Even if I don't kind of like it, I'll go back and watch the other ones. I don't know why. I do this all the fucking time. I did this with Sicario. I did this with the Purge movies. I did this with Rocky. Like, I always do this kind of weird shit. And I did like that it was kind of a self-enclosed place, but honestly, I really don't like Ethan Hawke. I feel like Ethan Hawke is just this weird stone face the entire fucking movie. This is one of his better performances, but I just really don't like Ethan Hawke at all. But I like this character in this because basically what it is like the plot of this movie is like, okay, the purge is happening and everyone's getting ready and they're basically introducing you to this family, and this family, they're upper middle class and they got their money because the father sells protection, like home protection, you can panic room, all that shit for purge events. And they got really rich. Like, they got to the whole neighborhood. They're raking in the dough. They're living happily. And basically, when the purge happens, their house gets invaded and they're stuck inside. So the whole thing is like, oh shit, there are a bunch of crazy people outside, and cops aren't coming out for shit. No one's gonna help us. But we're like, hey, we're pretty good, right? We're pretty safe, right? About that, honey. Yeah, I kind of sold them snake oil. Yeah, this might protect them, but it's not invulnerable. So now we know that he basically sold them shoddy merchandise. So it's like they're not the best family. Like, it's what I liked about the movie.
Evil fuck, you know what I mean? And there is reasons. If you got fucked over by this guy, there's reasons for you to take advantage of the purge night.
Exactly. And they show that, but it's one of the things. And I hate this trope in movie of like, there isn't a movie unless one character does something dumb, and I hate that shit in movies so much. Where it's like the son goes, wait, there's a guy outside, he could die. It's like, yeah, or he could kill you. Like, this is the purge. like, and the only reason the movie starts is because the kid says, well, I want to be a good person. It's like, yeah, good on you, kid, but also, congratulations, the movie now began because of you.
Yeah, and then even before that, there's a situation with this fucking daughter. Now, this bitch gets my fucking nerves. The beginning of the movie, she is just, and these kids are way too mean to their dad. I get that the dad's kind of an asshole. Ethan Hawke's kind of a dick. They don't know what he's selling and shit. They you know, all they know is that he provides them a shit ton of fucking food in a nice ass house, and more white privilege than you can ever fucking get. So, really, if he was my dad, yeah, dad, you kill people, fuck, sweet. Can I get the new PS4? Like, like, I don't know. But there's a situation where she has this boyfriend coming in who's, you know, they keep bringing up over and over again that he's older. Now, they don't say an age, but he looks pretty fucking old in comparison to her, and it's just kind of, it's odd they keep bringing it up. And she's always trying to, like, you know, he's always making out, always ready to fuck her and everything. And then when the purge thing happens, even though they have the defenses on shit, he finds a way inside the house. And right away, he's just telling her, like, hey, let's make out, I'm going to fuck you. But you know what? Hold on. I got to tell your dad something. It's purge night. How do you not expect that this fucking dude who snuck in your house to have sex with you, but then stopped in the middle of the sex to go talk to your dad, you didn't think that maybe he'll kill him?
I thought he was trying to fuck my daddy.
Or, well, you gotta understand, it's like, it's a weird mentality that this world has, because as much as this is the first time we're seeing it, it's clearly been at least 10 years, so it's like, as much as this is a horrible thing for us, it's kind of normal for them, because they even get to the point where the son goes like, Daddy, why are people doing that? It's like, well, purging, like, you gotta understand is there was a time where everything was bad, and this purge basically saved us. And you know, it's like, then the son goes, well, have you ever gone out? It's like, well, no, I don't have any anger, but if I felt I had anger, I could go out and purge. And mom goes, you're fucking crazy. But they do kind of explain that this is kind of a normal thing for them. It's as normal as it can be, where it's like little things like, why aren't you worried about this night, aren't really there, because it's like, it's kind of a normal thing. It's like heat waves, you know?
It's like The Handmaid's Tale on HBO, like, or is it Showtime? It's gotten to a point now that everything's become normal. That it's like, okay, yeah, this is just this is what happens. This is a fucked up New Year's.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And it's weird in a sense too, because it's like now you're dealing with a situation where, because we're not in this world, any kind of bad acting or bad writing it's like the Force. Call it the Purge. You know what I mean? Any weird situation of, why is he dressed that way? Why is he wearing a mask? Why do they have access to all these weapons? Why is this? Why is that? People, the Purge.
Well, you don't have to, okay, man, it's in America. You don't have to worry about why these motherfuckers have access to these.
Listen right now.
Trust me, go to a goddamn corner store, you'll get a fucking gun.
And weapons in America is not hard to come by.
Trust me, I'm Canadian, and I was like, yeah.
Like, even like, and even in later movies too, like the homeless people have like guns and shit, and I'm just kind of like, okay, you know, like, I know you're homeless, and I know the Purge, you get to steal shit, but everyone is aware of the Purge. Your homeless ass will be hiding, because I mean, especially like they have like these black homeless people and shit, and they're the targets. The movie keeps telling you over and over again that it's trying to get rid of black people and homeless people and people that are not like white and higher standard, because we just don't have as much money as them, and when we're out of the way, you know, they get to fill their pockets up better. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and Jet's bringing up something in the chat, and honestly, the only way we can talk about it is by talking about the sequel. So we'll finish up what we talk about with the Purge. And what I really enjoyed about this movie is, yeah, it was just a home invasion, and I like being, you know, I like a lot of the horror movies where you're stuck inside of a house and you're just fighting that. And the movie does have some cool, interesting situations, but one of the big problems that I felt with the movie is like, and I really never had this problem, but like, what's the outside world like? Because you don't get to see the outside world. It is just yeah, it's just because basically the remainder of the plot of the movie that we might skip over is a bunch of crazy white kids, or a bunch of crazy kids. We see their kids, but they're actually like, they were hired by the neighbors, are basically trying to kill this family by any means possible. They got a truck, they hooked up a fucking thing together to rip it out just to kill this family, and they try relatively well to try to murder the family, but the father is at least decent with a gun and is able to fight him off. And I think my single favorite part, because this movie could have just been but my favorite part of this movie is the balls that it had for the finale of this movie is Lena Headey's sitting down with the fucking woman that orchestrated this whole bullshit and goes, no, I ain't going to kill you. I'm going to sit at you, I'm going to stare at you for the next 3 hours until this fucking night is over, and no one's going to kill her. Because at one point, one of the guys has a gun, and they could have easily ended by shooting her and no consequences. But it's like, you know what? No. We're going to be civilized, you fucking crazy bitch. And I love that the movie had the balls to do that.
Yeah, and it was a good ending in that sense too, because leading up to that as well, I mean, you get like these really rough situations where, like, because it's two groups. The first group comes in and they're just going after the black dude, basically just, you know, doing their rounds. Hey, black guys, kill him, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when a black guy's at the house too, one thing that's kind of odd as well is you got Ethan Hawke, who's like, you know, he doesn't want to, you know, he doesn't know if this guy's gonna hurt his family, so that's one thing to consider. But then the people outside are like, hey, you guys are white. Well, you guys are with us. You know, I see you guys are with the Purge as well. Send the black dude out. We won't do shit to you. We're just going to torture and kill this black dude outside because we're cool with that. But then, you know, they're like, if you don't do it, we're going to kill you and your family. We're going to torture the fuck out of you.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is Ethan Hawke is like, okay, well, let's get him out there. Let's find him. So they're hunting this black dude inside the house. So now you got your protagonist hunting a black dude, which is, you know, not only racist, not only, and they say something about him being homeless too. So well,
like, he's homeless from the start, because anyone caught outside is either homeless or doing the Purge.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, now he's like double victimized from both in and out. He's not safe inside the house because Ethan Hawke might be just as dangerous as the people outside.
Yeah.
At least outside, the black dude can run away somewhere or hide somewhere. So, anyways, you know, Ethan Hawke and his wife are trying to find ways to get him to go out, to the point where Ethan Hawke starts telling his wife, torture him. You know, he's not complying with this. Put this thing inside of his fucking wound that he got shot at and just squeeze it and just torture the fuck out of him. And they handcuff him and they rope him up and they do all this shit. And then they don't even save him when the people actually get in inside the house. So now you have this very, very lucky black dude who is in this room where no one found him, even though the whole place is covered in fucking criminals. And you got Ethan Hawke, who just did the most villainous shit ever to get a victim and more victimize and torture the victim, and then not save him, put him in danger again.
Right.
And then it's like I'm supposed to care about Ethan Hawke dying, like, you know.
Well,
yeah.
it's not one of those things you care. It's like it's do whatever it takes to survive. And it's like I get that immediately as soon as you see a bunch of white people trying to kill a black person, and it's like, well, let's do that. It's like, I mean, you always have to put yourself like, what would you do in that situation? Are you gonna immediately like save this person that might, in some case, immediately kill you, or are you gonna sit there and risk your family? It's like they still got in, but it's like I was also going through that movie. I'm like, it's hard to really blame the family for not immediately wanting to give up because like these people have enough weaponry to get past their defenses, and there's nothing stopping them. There's no laws, there's no morality, there's nothing. And it's like they might have some weapons in the house, but like a lot of the weapons Ethan Hawke uses is the weapons that the criminals he got from killing them. So it's like, what do you do in that situation? Do you have the moral high ground and risk your family getting shot, or do you do some villainous shit to make sure they live through the day?
Yeah, and then even the wife will be telling him throughout the whole thing, like, hey, don't do this, don't do that. And then she's like, you probably should have when it's too late. And it's like, oh my god, bitch, like, you are fucking worse. Like, it gets crazy, people. And with that, getting to the ratings now, it's like, this movie, the concept is so fucking good. But it's like, you have the worst protagonists ever. Like, because they're villains. Like, they're not different than the white dudes outside. And then when they finally do redeem themselves, and, like the scene you're talking about with her saying, no, we're going to be civilized. That's like, yeah, civilized, bitch. You could have been civilized throughout this whole fucking thing. You've been, and they even bring this up too. She has certain flowers outside in the front of the house, which apparently in this world, these particular flowers mean like I endorse the purge. I think the purge is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well then, because you never got shot at because you don't know what it feels like to be black or Mexican or homeless.
Pretty much, exactly. No, but that's the thing. Like, and I'm glad, like, as we're doing that, because a lot of what we're talking about is dancing around with the subtlety that this movie fails to have in the next two ones. But I'll go with my rating, and honestly, I'll go with the stream it just because it's honestly this concept is stupid as fuck. I've watched 4 of these fucking movies, and I still think the concept that any sort of government body passes is laughably stupid. No, I'm sorry. I will say this to the day I die in the purge that Trump starts. This will never happen. Ever. Ever. Nobody will ever pass. I don't care how cynical you are with the government. I don't care how fucking poor America gets. They will never instigate the purge because it would never accomplish anything.
Yeah. And no, but yeah, like I see what you mean as far as the streamer goes. And me, like, yeah, for me, I'd give it a rent it still because I do think that, there is some scary scenes in here. It works as a horror movie. It's the only one that does work as a horror movie. The other movies are fucking, oh my god, like, we'll get into it.
They're action movies, basically.
Yeah, they're definitely action movies. But this one is action and horror, and I do like the horror aspect of it, and I feel like they could have done this more so later on, but they didn't, and that's what's frustrating to me. But it's a rent it. But moving on. We'll get into the second one now, man.
Ooh, and the least subtle commentary I've ever seen until the third one.
Yeah,
wait, more unsubtle than me being drunk at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so, I don't know how you want to do this.
Well, I'll go ahead and explain this, because basically it's the same story as the first one, so we won't get into all that again. The one thing that this is different on is the fact that, this is this guy over here, going through, the streets of, I forgot where they're at again.
Undesignated City 47. It's a big city.
Yeah, it's a big city. He's going through the streets, just kind of like just looking around and stuff. And you start with the movie looking at him, getting everything geared up. He has a bunch of guns and stuff. And you're thinking he's a purger, but you don't see him purge anybody. You see him going through certain situations where people are being victimized, and he's like, fuck, I wish I can help him, but you can't do shit. And the reason why it's called Anarchy is because we're no longer confined to a house. We're going to see how everybody else around the whole city is.
Exactly.
A cool concept.
I love it. 100%. One of my favorite simple movie things, and that's why I love action movies, is I'm at point A, I gotta get to point B, and there's a bunch of crazy shit in the middle. That's my favorite simple movie plot, because you could do so much of just having crazy on crazy on crazy, and this movie fucking delivers it.
And on another aspect of him, because there's 3 sets of characters, another aspect of this too is there's this white couple, and it's like, okay, you know what, like, let's see what it looks like with the white couple having to deal with black people messing with them. It's kind of showing like the other side of it, where they're going, they're about to break up. They're going through like the weird fucking thing where like, hey, should we tell our sister? Like, I don't know why you care about telling your sister that you're breaking up. Like, just who gives a shit. But these black people mess up their car, and then they're stuck out there, and they have no they had no car and they're stuck out there. They
Yeah.
didn't even do this purge shit. They don't even like the purge. And
Yeah.
then you have one more cast of characters where it's these two black girls. And they live inside of a house, and right away when the purge starts, their landlord tries to fuck them. And he's like, "Oh, you want to ignore me and blah, 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 the whole thing? I'm going to rape you, and I'm going to do this." And he's licking them, he's doing all this weird shit. But then this big government truck comes in and just destroys him, the landlord, and kills everybody else in the building. And it's so random. It's like, what the fuck's going on? And they're so systematic about it that when this main guy comes in that we were talking about in the beginning, dude with all the guns gearing up that's not a purger, he comes in and inadvertently saves them because he's like, man, it's fucked up. There's all this victimizing going on. And this is where all these characters meet. First off, even getting to that point, Alan, what'd you feel about the beginning of Purge Anarchy? I mean, did you like, all these three sets of characters kind of linking up together? Or not really?
Yeah, I always love that shit of like, let's have three random characters and then let's just have them all kind of join up to go to another part of the city. And I'm always a huge fan of that shit. And seeing this guy is like, I mean, he was in the fucking Civil War and Captain America movies. I'm like, he's forgettable in those movies. But in this, it's like he really knows how to be the kind of like reluctant. He's a reluctant action star where it's like, I have a job, I have something I need to do right now, and you get to see his plot. But it's like, shit, I gotta help these guys, and you see that moral conundrum from like, I don't want to help these motherfuckers because they'll get me killed, but shit, I can't just walk away. And I love that shit when it's like he's not the greatest guy in the world, but he's good enough. He's good enough for the movie to happen.
And he's not even like that great of a combative dude. I mean, he's good. He knows his surroundings and shit too. But this is like before he has anything like a special agent type shit, whatever the fuck like that happens later on in the series. But this is like, it's just a dude. It's just a dude with guns. But then it's like there's so many situations though where everywhere they go, it's some crazy purge shit, and it's like it goes back to me saying it's just like the Force. You just call it the purge. They get refuge in places where all of a sudden everyone goes ape shit. Like, someone's like, "Oh, you've been cheating on me, motherfucker," and then they start shooting people.
Man, that woman, that shocked me too, because I was like, "Yo, is something gonna happen? Things are too quiet." Bah, 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 bah. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it just happens like perfectly when they're in there. It's like, man, what bad luck do you have where that happens? What bad luck where they go through certain areas and like there's two gangs fighting each other, or that the government agency like. This government truck that comes by and wipes out the landlord and everybody else in there. The reason why they're going there is because, and it's signified through this map, this Google Hangout or Google Maps fucking thing, and it's a red square on this block. And basically they have all these places marked for the most poorest and most blackest, Mexicanist people to go kill them. It's very systematic. And they go there because they want to get rid of the poverty, and they probably, I guess, and tell me if I'm wrong, Alan, I think the reason why is because if they kill these people out and wipe them out, they can replace those properties with new properties to help the capitalists.
And now we get to the least subtle commentary I've ever seen in a movie. This is where the movie, it's one of those things where when people say, why are you mad at a movie for trying, it's shit like this. Because Jet is losing her mind in the chat, saying that, oh, all this is about killing poor people, black people especially. It's like, yeah, there's no denying that, because that's what these movies have been about. Especially the second one, where they literally have a bunch of the poor people have an armada to deal with this shit, because it's like this movie is simple, if not more simple than the first one. So we're not really skipping a lot of the plot, because it really isn't. It's just a bunch of cool action scenes. So we told you the plot. Yeah. Bunch of characters meet up, and they got to get to another part of the city. That's the plot. The rest of the cool shit is the various scenes, and we could talk all day of our favorite ones, but the thing about what we have to talk about is we have to talk about the social commentary that the movie tries to have. Basically, what it's trying to say is that, hey, Jay, I'm saying losing your mind. I'm sticking with it. But basically what it is that the U.S. government does not want to deal with the poor people, so they instigated the purge to wipe them out. Less poor people means less people that they have to depend on welfare or support. But the thing is as a result of just how capitalism, just how, systematic racism works, is a lot of those people ended up being black, Mexican, or various other ethnic groups that just get caught out. So it's one of those things where it's like, that's what the social commentary of this movie is that this whole divide is going to get so bad that this purge is going to get out and people are just going to get genocided out. And it's like, it's just not subtle.
It really is not, man. I mean, it's almost frustrating, because like it makes a point where I'm like, okay, I get this, I understand all these characters, I understand what he's going through, blah blah. But then it gets to a point too where I'm like, okay, now you're just like preaching to me, and it's getting in the way of the movie. Like halfway through, they had to keep reminding us what this dude's mission is and why he even got those guns ready without doing the purging. Like we end up like just accepting, oh man, he is Captain being at the right place at the right time. Yay!
Yeah.
And it's like I lose my sight, I lose my focus on that because it's like he becomes a superhero in a sense. And then it's a superhero against all this bad capitalistic racist shit, which is cool, and I like that, and I like that they're able to bring that up within the story of like, hey man, we're gonna talk about this fucked up thing. Capitalists are assholes, and Donald Trump fucking sucks, and blah blah blah. This whole thing. This came out way back before Donald Trump was president, by the way. I'm just saying that.
Let's specify. The second one did. The third one was during.
Yeah, exactly. And the fourth one, I didn't even get to see that yet. But
Don't.
yeah, man. But like this, it gets to a point where like the action's really cool and everything too, and that's awesome. But then the whole. Like, there's even this group, and I forgot what they're called, but they're basically, like, I guess a modernized Black Panther group, right?
Yeah, the basic, I don't know what they're called either, but basically what the group
Liberation
is like.
Front.
Yeah, because,
It's just the Black Liberation, generic Black Liberation.
The generic Black Liberation group, and they're basically explaining the whole thing of, like, what Nick's getting at is, like, this whole thing, and it's, like, it's weird because I don't necessarily think that the commentary is bad, I just think that the way they went about it is bad, because it's, like, they're basically trying to say if white people got enough power to murder without indiscriminately, that every white person becomes the most brutal racist murderer. And it's just one of those things where it's like, I get what you're trying to get at, but you're not doing it well. That this isn't just some stupid bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it gets to a point too where it's like, the main character, he's not listened to at all. It goes to the thing every time there's a side character that's a female, they have to be telling him that he's wrong about everything, but not have no fucking solutions for anything at all. Yeah. So I mean, it makes you go like, okay, well, this girl shouldn't be here. The biggest thing too is and it's cool, like that one dude, that the main guy from this Black Liberation group, he is like always lingering. Like every time something happens, you hear his voice in the radio, you see his face on the TV, and they wait to the very very end for him to come out, where it almost feels like a Jurassic Park ending. He's like the T-Rex that comes out and it's like saves the day. And that's cool and shit, but it's kind of like, dude, like that was actually a good character. You mean you couldn't give him
freedom, motherfuckers? Bah, bah, bah.
He says that.
No, literally, that's literally what happens.
Yeah, he literally says that.
And that's where we're getting at, where it's like this movie has some cool ideas, but it doesn't. It doesn't have a smart enough. It's like the whole Jaden Smith. If Jaden Smith got a horror movie, where it's like there's enough there that there's a.
I can't believe y'all just said that shit to me,
dude. It is. It's like there's enough here that you have a decent commentary, but it's written by an idiot.
Yeah. And so much an idiot where, I mean, it becomes like Michael Bayisms. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
Everything explodes. Everything is like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, like when you play Pokemon and like you go up to a character and it's like, hey, nice shoes, and it goes, and you start fighting. Like, this is literally that. It's like this entire world has Pokemon grass, and if you walk in it, you'll meet a Purger.
Well, yeah, it's like. And I'm okay with that kind of concept because it's like people just kind of are just either out or out. But it's like it's one of those things where this concept is just so unbelievably dumb that you trying to put anything more like the more you try to put onto this, the fucking dumber people realize where it is, because it's like so much of this would just never happen in the real world. Yeah. None of this would happen.
Yeah, I mean the concept is already ridiculous in that sense too because of that. But then like just even if this concept was real and the purge actually didn't happen, you're even doing shit that won't even happen then. Like it's like. What? To the point where we finally find out what this guy's purpose is and why he's even out there not purging but purging. His son died in a car accident 12 months before. They don't really say if it was on purpose or not. It sounds like it's a drunk.
I think they thought it was a drunk driver, but he was like a big wig, either lawyer or politician, so he walked away.
Yeah, but when he says 12 months, I'm like, wait, did it happen on purge night? Because if that's the case, then like, you mean he got away because he killed him like during the night? Like I don't know.
I don't remember it being like a. I don't remember.
Question. Why would you drive around drunk during the purge night?
I don't remember the 12-month thing. I don't remember. Yeah, well, I mean, you wouldn't get in trouble. I don't remember there being a 12-month on there.
You wouldn't survive it either.
Yeah, true.
No, drunk people survive car crashes all the time.
Yeah, it's usually the victims who don't because they're the ones who get the fucking they get crashed into.
This has been MCA's drunk driving PSA.
Yeah, don't drink and drive, people. You do that, you're a piece of shit. Even if you
or do it heavily.
No, no, like, and you said you don't remember the months thing being added on there.
Sorry, just stupid thing my friend one time said in that situation is the teacher's like, so make sure you don't drink and drive. He goes, or just do it a lot because you won't die.
No, that's bad. It's very bad. Your friend's a dick.
Anyway,
no, but,
yeah.
Yeah, man, but no, like when it comes to this stuff, at the end, basically, he got all the shit set up so he can go find this guy. He finds him, and he even tells everybody around him, like, hey, guys, you know, the people he saved, he's like, I'm going to kill this fucking guy. It's going to happen. I'm sorry. It's purge night. I got 2 more fucking minutes. I'll go do my thing. He goes over there, and, man, his acting skills, he did some Sylvester Stallone Rambo shit, just crying his eyes out. You fucking took my son, you motherfucker. And he's like, I mean, it almost got me emotional watching it. I'm like, damn, dude, that's fucked up. I can't imagine something like that.
Let's start this war.
Okay, nobody can understand this guy.
Yeah, true. And I mean, he's slobbering, and it's like some good shit. I'm like, yeah, you kill that motherfucker, man. Get purge, man. Purge it. Cleanse your soul, dude. I understand what you're going through. And he comes out. He didn't fucking kill him.
No, and I know you're mad at that shit, but I'm like, you know what? I get that because he just saw a bunch of fucking rich capitalist white assholes just fucking do a slave auction and fucking 20 whatever. So it's like, he's like, you know what? This isn't good. This doesn't make you a better person. This is just an excuse to murder. So he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. Like, I'm like, you know what? That's fine. The movie earned that ending. A lesser movie or a movie that didn't show as much grotesque stuff would have been like the typical, well, he's a good guy. But I think this movie earned that ending.
Not only that, like I told you earlier, like I've seen bits and pieces of that, of the Purge, the Purge movies, and I do remember that was a big focal point through a lot of the stuff that was happening. That he would like run into like the people that were like the couple that got stranded, the black couple, and just him running into all the stuff. It's just him building up to realize, yeah, the Purge is not our solution. Like, yeah, I'm getting my quote unquote revenge, but that's what everybody else around me that thought they were doing tonight, and I don't want to be part of that. And that was just like, that was to show the ultimate rejection. Now, in the next one, when he's super ancient motherfucker shooting everybody, I don't know what the fucking lesson went. But besides that, like, that's what this one was going.
Well, okay, that third one is completely different. Like, there's a reason why he's just gunning everyone down.
Yeah, and we'll get into that right now too, because oh man, like it does. Oh, God, we'll get into that. But you know, with this one, it's just like, and by the way, like one thing I forgot to branch too that you brought up. You know, they put purpose to these black dudes that are fucking with the white kids. And I was like, okay, you know, it makes sense. And maybe they're just like, you know what? We go through shit all the time. We're a black group. We're going to just fuck these people up because they look rich. And, hey, we deal with shit all the time, so we're going to purge too. They're not even purging. They're just being villains. They found a way to villainize black people and still make them fucking weak. And literally what they do, people, you're going to love this shit. The black group who's going through this shit in the purge gets people, steals them, and sells them as slaves so they can get killed by rich white people who, by the way, go after exclusive black people.
It's one of those things where it's like they did they basically just had a situation where it's like everyone's a victim to a certain degree, even these guys, where it's like they have to do this or they're gonna die, but they're basically crazy people too. And that's the kind of thing I love about the aesthetics of this. It's like it gives them an excuse for people just to go crazy, so everyone's wearing masks. They're treating this like a seance. Because it's like purging, right? It's like a demonic fucking thing that's happening over this night. And I love that shit. And I love the fucking... I'll never get tired of watching a fucking on-fire vehicle just driving through the fucking city. I will never get tired of that visual because it's always stupid and always fucking cool. How do you get that moving? Is someone driving? Did you light it on fire prior to that? Is there a person on fire currently driving the car? Did you just somehow hook up a Rube Goldberg machine to get that going? I don't fucking care. I just want to see it in every movie I see.
Yeah, man, but like if people are in chat like, what the fuck? Yeah, man, like in Anarchy, like they literally, as this black group that has masks on, they've been kind of looking at our, you know, white protagonist group in the beginning, and they literally sell them as slaves. And what they do is when they go over there, they sell them. And by the way, it's like within 10 minutes, or not even 10 minutes, like 10 seconds, where these people are sold and then put onto a stage where a bunch of rich white capitalists spend money, kind of like the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom scene, where they buy dinosaurs.
Yeah, actually. So this is a fun movie for everyone.
Yeah, no, this is great. You know, and they buy the people that are being fucked up to go and hunt them down and shoot them, which, by the way, these white people are too scared to go out and purging themselves. That's why they're buying these people to kill them inside of the containment of, like, this building. But, you know...
Oh, but it's one of the, yeah, but no, I got that because it's like, well, we want to... It's like a big game hunter. Sometimes they want to have it in a controlled environment. So, like, well, I'm not going to go outside where some other idiot can kill me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them in, and I could do it myself in a maze where I have night vision goggles, and they don't, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's so fucking stupid. And it's even more stupid because the people that end up getting the guns who bought these people to kill, they know how to shoot a gun just fine. It's like, well, go purge then, you motherfucker. And then there's no, like, these people that are being sold there and are used as a bait, they can grab the gun too and will just kill you, which is the same as purging. What the fuck?
Yeah, but they're the massive disadvantage because it's super dark. The only reason the main character gets a high up is because he's able to survive long enough to grab a night vision goggle. Everyone else, it's pitch black. You might as well have your eyes closed.
I guess, but yeah, I mean that was so frustrating to me. 'Cause I'm like, wow, dude, like, you know, I'm not a dude who cares about this type of stuff. I'm not black, so I don't know the struggle. I don't feel it. I don't deal with it. But it's like, and with movies, I'm not sensitive about anything really. You can show me anything, even with Mexicans. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a fucking movie. But
Yeah,
this is like insane. I'm not trying to kiss ass, but it's like it's 2 movies in a row now where they just get off like torturing the fuck out black people.
Well, the thing is with the whole slave auction bit, it's rooted in history because you had the whole West Coast slave African trade, which was predominantly pushed by the African tribal people in that area that were selling people to the European traders. So that is based in history, but I highly doubt this screenwriter even got that deep into it.
No, it's just a typical thing of like, well, white people used to sell people as slaves. Let's just do it again. It's trying to be deeper than it actually is. This is what the writer thought he was trying to do.
This is Jaden Smith communism, yo.
Yeah, basically he's trying to be like, well, look how capitalistic people are. Eventually it's going to get to the point, and this is what the writers wanted to do, is well, rich people are going to get to the point where in order to get off, they're going to basically hunt people down. And the only way to do this is to create some convoluted thing. It's some convoluted, event so that people are okay with killing it to trick the masses because they're all stupid. We get to wipe out these people that are basically living in these buildings so that we can get other people that are richer to actually do this kind of stuff. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if the movie is actively trying to do this to not get in trouble, but like people are throwing race around, and me, it's more of a rich versus poor fight. It just happens to be that most of the rich people are white and most of the poor people are black. But I've always seen this thing of like, this is a rich versus poor issue, because you have a lot of people that are poor, regardless of fucking demographic, that are in this situation. Yeah. But then you have a bunch of rich people, and they do actually show that it's not just it's not just all white. There are some other people in there. It's a mostly white affair, but it's like I've always seen it as a rich versus poor. And I know other people want to put like race on there, but honestly, I really think that it is just a rich versus poor mentality.
Yeah. Man.
Well, with the slave auction, I can see them trying to do the whole idea, the mentality of like, oh, like you said earlier, like, oh, black people were sold at one point by white people, and it's not going into the whole deep aspect. It's like, hey, everybody's fucked up for the purge, so anyone's gonna try to get money, or they're just trying to do the most fucked up thing to survive. And that's a lot of times what you see with these scripts. They're trying to do the most basic, like, oh my god, thought-provoking. I'm showing you income inequality, and I'm showing you all these big theories and stuff. And it just boils down to like, rich man good, rich man bad, poor people good.
That's a good way to sum up this entire series. Like,
yeah, especially
why?
The next one.
Why? I don't know. Am I gonna show you why? No, just that's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's frustrating, and I mean, I guess we'll go into ratings and everything now too, because we do got 2 more movies to go to, people, and we'll get those done quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, this is, the action was so fucking good, and there's certain things that are so great about this, and I love the main character. I think his name is Leon or Leo or some shit. I forgot his name.
Leon Kennedy.
Man, this would have been to buy it. This really would have been to buy it, but it's like this shit is uncomfortable. Seeing so much shit happen with villainizing black people, killing black people, victimizing black people, the Mexican shit. There's a Muslim that's killed later on. It's a really weird fucking way. The main character, the guy who talks in the very beginning of the fucking movie, who's in charge of this Black Liberation group, gets 5 minutes of screen time in his whole group, and they're supposed to be the saviors of this entire thing. They are the heroes of this. They get 5 minutes. And it's like, man, dude. It's
one of those things where it wasn't supposed to be heroes. Like, they're basically the last-minute heroes. But it's more of just trying to show it's like, well, guess what? You give these people the ability to purge. They're also going to use this weapon to fight back.
Yeah. And then over here, too, like, they're talking about, kind of how does the country handle not having to purge? I don't know. They don't really talk a lot about that, but to even ask, too, isn't just in the U.S. People from other places come to the U.S. to do it, and actually that's an election year.
That is actually in the third year, in the third movie, they do specify that because of this actually happening, that there's people called murder tourists, who basically like people from like areas where they come in and they purge.
Yeah. Hey, honey, let's go kill some Americans right here.
Yeah.
No joke. That literally happens.
They say it just like that too. By the way, it's fucking stupid.
Just read the thing. it's a bunch of Swedes or some shit. Dude, no, if you wrote this shit, it would have been an actual, like, there would have actually going on, but it's like, there's so much with this movie that it's like, the more it tries, the more it fails.
Yeah, but this, I had to give this avoid it, honestly. Like, I would say stream it. And to be honest, as, like, if I'm really enjoying this without all the weird, like, am I racist for watching this shit? Like, I would give it a buy it. But it's like, it's really uncomfortable, man. And there's some shit where at the end, they just lose all the fucking build that they were doing. And it just gets fucking silly. It's an avoided. Like, this is kind of a bad one, but technically I almost like this the most because there's most shit happening. It's just the first one I feel like didn't do that racist shit so much as this one. As well as the fact that I do think that the first one was just scary, and I like that it was scary versus the action point. But you, Alan, what would you rate this movie?
Honestly, I gotta go with the not the highest. No, I'm gonna go up there. Fuck it. It's on the lower end, but I'm gonna give this up with the highest rating because it's one of those things where the best way for me to, if you could sell me on a stupid concept to keep you entertained for the entire movie, I'm gonna give you kudos. This is a stupid concept. It does a lot of stupid stuff. It's as subtle as Trump is at a fucking press rally. So it's like, and it's one of those things. But if I got past all that, and I had a relatively, because I remember posting something earlier today about enjoying the movie, and just like, well, I don't see the appeal. It's like, this is a roller coaster ride. You're either in it or you're not. You're either gonna like this or you're not gonna like this. But if you can sit through the concept and actually sit down and watch it, because we didn't talk about most of the action scenes in this. There's so much crazy shit. So if you sit down and watch it and can accept the stupidity, you're gonna be like, wow, you know what? This was some stupid bullshit commentary, and I'm kind of offended. But there's some cool action scenes. So honestly, just go out of your way and find a way to watch it. I do think that you'll enjoy this, because this one is like, you don't need to see the first one to see the second one. But, and as we're about to go in, you do need to see the second one to at least get some idea of the third one.
And let's go into the third one. This
oh Lord, what a fucking, like, what a movie that said, whoa boy, I'm glad Trump's in office.
God damn, man. So on top of the lack of subtlety, I just gotta tell you, there's a scene that I cannot get over. This is up there with my very much hated handmaiden scene. This is with the sex scene and all that shit. It's up there with the bag scene with American Beauty. This fucking bitch in this fucking movie. There's this deli or convenience store, and it's this old dude just owning this shit, and he has this like girl who used to be a gangster just chilling with him all the time, and these two little fucking high school girls go in there, and they're like being way too like Slipknot music video, Korn music video villains. Like, they are grabbing like Nestle Crunches, like like it's a big dick or something. Like, just Nestle Crunch. I
was wondering what scene you're gonna go for, because I got a couple of like shit. He went right for the worst one.
Oh my god, and like everything, and then like just twirling around like they're already on drugs, and the purge hasn't started yet, and like just like I don't know, like man, I wish I had my webcam on. Like, they're like doing Undertaker eyes and shit. It was fucking ridiculous. And then the dude goes over, he's like, hey, I saw you stole that shit. What the fuck you doing? Like, you know, it's like, it's a candy bar. What you can do, old man, bitch ass motherfucker? And then this girl comes out, tells him, hey, you should probably get out of here. Like, you know, you guys know who I am. I used to be, you know, a bad bitch back in the day. My name is, and then she gave out this Mexican name. I'm like, aren't you black?
No, it's not. That's not the weirdest part to me. It was the weirdest part is like,
yeah,
might as well. No, my problem with that wasn't that. My problem was like, yeah, well, I used to be big. I'm like, who?
Yeah,
might as well
just know who this person is.
Yo, man, I don't care how fat you used to be, bitch. Let's square up.
Like, it's just so weird because this movie makes it seem like fucking Rocky Balboa is in it. It's like, do we know who this person is?
Yeah, should Michael B. Jordan be here and be like, oh no, she used to be a great boxer. She's fucking amazing. You should care. Like, no, it's like, we don't know who this is. No one's ever talked about her. She seems really nice, by the way. So it's like, it sounds like a saint. Am I supposed to be scared of a saint? Like, I don't know.
She did exhume that she used to be a badass, but this movie makes it seem like Captain America or somebody that we know showed up from another movie, but no, nobody showed up. And it's one of those things where it's like, I wouldn't say like dumbass scenes. I'd say like they're so over the top. Well, they're so overtly like.
Because it gets to a point, people, and I had to run into this. Later on when the purge starts, it's been 2-3 hours, and she's like, "I'll get you back, motherfucker!" Like before this all happened. So 3 hours later, she comes in. She gets a car that's covered in Christmas lights. And by the way, it's the purge. You're supposed to not want to say, please shoot me, you motherfuckers. But she and some homegirls are listening to fucking goddamn Party in the USA.
Oh my god. Hey, because it's one of those things where it's like, at that point, I'm like, fuck it, whatever, I'm in this.
So Miley Cyrus is Purge canon. Good enough.
Miley Cyrus shows up with Rebecca Black and Taylor Swift and decides to rob a fucking deli in The Purge.
No, she comes back and she goes outside and she's like, hey, get out here, old man, motherfucker. He's like, yes. Like, by the way, your shop's closed. Are you trying to sell something, you dumb fuck? Like, just hide the Purge.
Oh, they can't actually. They actually talk about this where the insurance was no longer going to cover their house, and they couldn't hide anything or not their house, their store, and they couldn't cover anything because they're still renovating. That actually does get explained of why they have to stay there the whole time.
Well, no. Well, technically, the thing is that they can hide and they can do the thing. The only thing that the Purge, like insurance did was they can't attack it with the Purge insurance. Now, if you don't have Purge insurance, people can just go in there and steal your shit and blow it up and do what they want to do. But no.
It's not there. It's people. If you have Purge insurance, if someone purges your place, you get money for it. But if you don't, and someone if someone does it, you don't get any money for it. So they need to stay out there with a gun and actually shoot anyone that's trying to rob their place. Because any damages, it's on them.
Okay, that makes sense then. But he's out there, and I mean, it's like I don't know how much damage I'm gonna fucking do, but I mean, I'd rather you destroy my place than like kill me. Like, you know, I mean, if you kill me, I'm not gonna know what money my place makes because I'll be, you know, fucking dead.
True, but also someone rams a fucking car into your store, you're dead anyway. Like you're gonna lose your entire business and go hungry.
But this bitch comes outside, y'all. I'm telling you, they say it 12 to 15 fucking times. She comes on and says, yo, I'm gonna get my candy bar. I'm gonna get my candy bar, old motherfucker. And he's like, I'm gonna come back for my candy bar. She leaves, comes back with another car.
You want the clear difference? For anybody that wants a clear difference between me and Nick's reviewing styles, I love that scene for how stupid over top it is, and he hated it.
That shit, I was ready to just say, you know what? Alan can just do this shit by himself.
I'm gonna fuck you up, motherfucker. I want my Snickers, you son of a bitch.
I was like, at this point, fuck it. Just do it. I don't care anymore. Y'all don't know what
it's Reese's Pieces or a piece of that asshole, man.
And the way she goes out, I was like, man. I think the thing is it's weird because I think this movie sets up kills and then tries to justify the character's death after they've already come up with this. Because the way they murder this chick is so brutal that even I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, okay, now I'm a little uncomfortable. Like, you murdered her really hard, like super hard. Like a portion of the budget of this movie went into that death alone. So yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's like, okay, we want this girl to get hit by a car, and we want it to be super realistic and practical. Well, what does she do to deserve it? She is crazy. Okay, we got crazy everywhere. Why is she crazy? She's a kid. Well, what do kids like? Candy. Okay, she wants a candy bar, and we kill her because of that. Done. Right. We got the script ready.
Yeah. Like, honestly, you know what this fucking reminds me of, man? And I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is kind of like a synopsis. This is a huge thing for horror fans. Over here, man, this is Friday the 13th Part 5. Literally, like, my number 4 worst movie of my entire fucking life. I hate this above, like, Handmaiden shit. But this motherfucker, Friday the 13th Part 5, New Beginning, he's like, you want candy bar? Well, fuck you, Dan. And this dude kills him. And, like, you think this is over the top?
What is going on in this scene?
Say what?
What is going on in this scene?
I'm so glad
some random big muscle guy is beating the shit out of some fat guy and it cuts to some woman. What am I watching?
Alan, it's exactly what fucking Nick described. The dude yells, fat boy, give me some chocolate. You want some chocolate? Fuck you, this is my chocolate. He turns around, he gets the axe to the dome for not sharing chocolate, bro.
Yeah, or no, actually,
no
it's actually
other
worse
context
than that.
to give.
No, honestly, and I hate to correct you, it's even worse than that. The thing is, the dude that's working with the axe, he's in shape, so he doesn't like chocolate, because chocolate's for fat fucks. So the fat dude's like, you want a candy bar? And he's like, no. He's like, come on, it's really delicious. No. And he's like, well, if that's how you want to be, then fuck you, buddy.
Yeah, you know what? Oh my god, that's terrible.
And the dude just beats him and goes to jail, and he's gone for the whole movie. Like,
wait, so what movie is this? Is this Friday the 13th or was this Jason?
No, it's
Freddy. Was it Freddy or was it Jason?
Jason Voorhees, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to watch these movies. This is gonna be a blast.
My favorite was what Patrick Barrow said in the chat. It's a Crunch Bar, a standard Crunch Bar, not even a different kind of flavor. What the fuck is
Y'all are getting hung up. Okay, let's go back. Let's pretend we're Jaden Smith and we're going to the writing room. No. Okay, this woman is so obsessed because she's rich. She wants everything, and as soon as someone denies her, she just loses her mind. And the Purge lets her do her exact fantasies. Aren't I brilliant? No, you're a fucking idiot. This is so over the top. This is so ridiculous. And there's only two things about it. You're being content and you're laughing your ass off and you're just enjoying it, or you're Nick going, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's just the way the movie starts and how much shit we've been through with part 1 and 2, and then even part 2, there's like some rape stuff going on and everything. And I'm like, you know, this is some serious shit. And this happens? I'm like, did you guys go Freddy Krueger 5 after part 1 right now? Like,
no, they might crank 2 on this.
Yeah, it is. I mean, dude, people, like, I'm telling you, she says it, like, she's literally beating the fucking door.
My candy!
Like, candy right fucking now. I'm hungry. Candy. Like, it was like, are you serious? The Purge, a candy bar.
Kit Kat Buster's kneecap.
Dude, this is like, this is not even a long part of the movie. This is like maybe a 10-minute sequence that she says it like 40 times.
It is insane. And then, like, and they're playing this music, dun dun, dun dun, dun dun. I'm like, it's candy. Like,
but the political message of rich people and spoiledness and purge, man. The message, man.
What the fuck? Like, what happened with this third film?
I mean,
dude, Trump happened. Trump happened with this.
That doesn't make sense though, because everything else has been grandeur or very focused and like personal. What happened with this third one?
I'm telling you, like the beginning of the movie, bro. Like when it comes to this shit too, because it's all surrounding around this politician who's trying to end the purge, and she's a girl.
Yeah.
So I mean, Hillary Clinton much, like, you know.
Well, yeah, they explained that she was caught in one of the first purges when she was a kid and grew up and wanted to be it. But like, that's where the movie will. Oh, the NRA is funding this because of gun violence, and these guys are no better than the Republicans. It's like, yeah, we know Trump just got elected or is running for office. Like, it's so much on there.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, yeah, Jess said this too. Don't forget, she gets shot in the ear, leaves in her car, and comes back for more for candy. So when she's out there at first, you're like, "Bitch, get the fuck out of here! No, we're out of Nestle Crunch, bitch!" Pow, and she leaves, and then she comes back like, "I'm still hungry." Just fucking stupid.
Oh Lord, what a like! And the funny thing is I don't hate this movie. It's the weakest of the three, but I don't hate this movie. But I'm not gonna fault anyone for not liking it.
I shot this bitch 5 times. She's still coming back. At this point, I'm just gonna give her every chocolate in the store.
Nah, fuck it. Just shoot her a few more times. If she comes back, she'll bring fucking Michael Myers with her.
No, it's almost like the fucking Return of the Living Dead, where it's like instead of brains or like candy bars. It's fucking crazy. But as I was saying, this politician thing, and as Alan was saying a few times too, where it's like, yeah, it's, you know, it's obviously the Republicans versus Democrats thing, and it's cool, but the politician doesn't take it seriously, much like Hillary Clinton. Dude, tell me why they actually have access to a place that'll keep her safe, and that she will not be harmed. She'll be by herself. Everything will be fine. She wants to stay in a regular fucking house because she thinks that the people that are going to be voting for her would appreciate that she's living like they are in a very, very dangerous area in a house where she could be killed.
Unfortunately, that's the most normal thing in this fucking movie.
That's actually the go-to political move, honestly.
Yeah, like that's like when I say that the most normal part of this movie. To like as soon as they said that, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yo, get me in a nuclear bomb chamber. Fuck that shit. I want the Hulk to be the only person to get me out. It's like, yeah, I fucking get it. We need a movie. Fuck it.
Yeah. For me, that got on my nerves because even the main guy is telling her, and once again, no one wants to listen to this main dude. I don't know if it's crazy or what.
Nobody listens to the entire movie.
Yeah, you know, he's just telling her like, "Hey, listen, I'm a special agent. You know, you're gonna die. You know, and plus, by the way, don't forget, I know you pay me, but I can't cash this check if I'm fucking dead too. So can we please like do shit right?"
I love that shit because it's like, why are you here? It's like, well, I'm the only one here that actually cares if you live or die because I want this person to be over.
My debit don't count if I'm dead, bitch.
I know, man. Like, you know,
you can't pay at least if I'm in heaven.
But it goes back to the first movie of the only reason certain sequences exist is so that a movie exists.
Yeah.
Because like, if Nick got his way, it's like when she's in a nuclear bomb chamber, it's like, what are we gonna do for the rest of the movie? Watch a bunch of people not get into her? It's like, no, we need to have her going from essentially like the second one, go from one end of the city to the other end of the city, picking up a bunch of, you know, interesting characters along the way or not so interesting characters along the way, and then just end it with a weird climax of some doctor dude.
Well, it goes to like, okay, well, I know we have to make a movie, but you can do that by saying like we're going to go to that nuke bullet thingy, so we won't die. But they got in the way because they knew we were gonna go there. So now we have to be stuck in this house. But to say I want to be in this house, I know we have all these other options, but I would really like to stay in this house. Oh, and by the way, put me in the top floor, by the way. Not like in a basement or some shit where they had to actually work to get me. Put me on the top where I can get sniped and shit. I mean, any more dangerous... Can you put my head out the fucking window, too? And put a goddamn flag on my fucking forehead?
Hey, it'll throw them off. They'll never see it coming. Shit, I'll be on the top floor. Fuck that shit. Basement man, there's no way out. Top floor can jump out a goddamn window. Pretty sure they do that at one point, too. They just fucking jump out the window.
Yeah, you know, and it's fucking... It's crazy. And then... Like, people, twists all over the place. I'm gonna spoil this shit. The dude starts off in the beginning with this one tall guy, another agent, and, you know, the main guy's talking to him like, hey, man, make sure you keep an eye on this guy. He's like, okay. And then, literally, a minute later, he turns heel, and there's, like, a whole group, like, 20 fucking army guys trying to kill this girl, and yet the main dude's able to save her. That happens so much. She's always in the best place scenario where it's, like, at the last minute, someone's able to save her. It gets fucking ridiculous.
She's either the luckiest person on Earth or the least luckiest. It's up to you, honestly.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, there's really not, and other than that, there's really not much else. There is one part that I started laughing, and now this movie, like, let's go back to the racist thing. Villainizing black people, killing black people. That happens, again, so fucking much in this movie. Where, I mean, it just gets gruesome. And then it gets to a point where it's almost funny, because now it gets to a point where any people you walk around, any kind of black group you walk around, they could be a gang. To the point where when they're stuck and all these people are trying to go in their just medic van or whatever the fuck, one of the main characters goes, whoop, whoop, or makes this weird sound, and it's like, ooh, it's Crips. It was just like Jurassic Park 3, where he does a raptor sound, like, and then the Velociraptor is like, fuck yeah, he's with us. It's like, I guess black people are dinosaurs now.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie. I don't remember the fucking Jurassic Park call in this fucking movie.
Yeah, and it's like, so whoop, and then everyone else like, oh my god, hey, you're with us, cause, yeah.
It's very similar to it's weird because it's very similar to the second one where it's a whole thing is get one end to the city to the next. But it's like it's just less thought out and less interesting.
One of the raptors have an afro.
I know, like, it's weird because it's almost like animalistic. It's like, dude, humans do not work this way, especially in the Purge. You're gonna go so whoop, and then the black dude's gonna go, oh, you're with our gang, so we're cool now. Motherfucker, what if I just made that noise and I was a white dude and I could just shoot you? You dumb ass. Like...
Well, you could see they weren't white.
Yeah, but... Oh, my God. Like, the fucking stupidity. And then there's, like, a zoom in. There's a part at the very end where the white dude, the main guy that we talked about the last two movies, he's helping out the black folk because they're, you know, white and black together is cookies and cream. It's great. And this fucking dude does one of those, like, fucking... gangster like high five things like the Wakanda salute type shit, and he does it and it zooms in on his hand like white hand black hand, like he's cool, yeah, shaking hands. He's
subtlety just shows up on the screen. Subtlety.
It's like that scene from Predators when
dude, I was thinking the same thing watching that. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, like, you son of a bitch, I'm going to save you in the race. Like, it was silly, dude. And like this character is no one, he's very serious throughout the whole thing. They don't even get along. But because this movie wants to, you know, the movie wants a black viewer to go, man, that white boy, he's cool with me, man. That's a cool white boy right there. To the point,
they literally say that line in the fucking movie.
Yeah, there's a black dude who says, hey, I know you bros, I know you black people are cool. I love black people, but y'all better leave my white people alone. You know what I'm saying, man? And I'm like, don't say that, and don't say it that way too. You fucking fucking movie.
Y'all need to leave my crackers unsalted.
I'm just saying, like,
man,
this movie was made by a white dude trying to be black. Like, I fucking hate this fucking movie, dude.
If I catch any of you jive turkeys trying to saltine my crackers, I'll fuck you up.
Might as well have said that. He goes, I don't like a lot of white people, but these white people, these are my white people. It's like,
yeah, man.
Okay, I'm not one of the people that I'm not disliking the movie at this point, but even I gotta go, seriously? Why not just say, hey, don't fuck with them, they're people? That would have made you sound less weird.
Nah, these are my chalky white brothers.
Like, I don't know, man. Every line of dialogue in this movie could have been rewritten by a person with half a brain, and the movie would have instantly been better. Because guess what? The last movie did a lot of the same thing this movie's doing, but way worse.
Yeah, and I mean, there's so much more to talk about, and I don't even really want to at this point. All I'm saying, folks, is like, and I don't know if you want to add more and do your ratings, go ahead. But like, as far as me for ratings go, this is like the lowest of the lowest avoided. The only reason why it's not a fuck it is because there is a couple action scenes that are cool. I'm sorry, there is. You know, Alan brought up when Candy Girl gets fucking ran over, or well, shit. I mean, it's
fucking murdered, man.
Yeah, they put a lot into it, but I'm telling you, like, and someone said, was this made by Tarantino? Honestly, dude, I would have turned the shit off after, like, if Tarantino did this, it would have been N-words all over the fucking place, hard R's.
Man, if Tarantino did this, it would have been the dialogue would have been way better.
Yeah, and I mean, and then God, there's even a point too where like all the bad guys have white power on them. I'm like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, you know, dude, fuck this movie. I'm not even gonna hate them for white power at this point because you are making me try to hate them so much. They're like NASCARs. These people are like fucking. Like, you know when NASCARs have, like, Tide and fucking Chevron?
Oh, yeah, I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, these bad guys have suits that have Confederate flag, Nazi symbol, or not, you know, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Every single white supremacy fucking thing you could think of. KKK outfits, white everywhere.
Someone was dressed up like
religious and shit.
Yeah, it's almost like they're getting paid by sponsors. It's like Confederate flags are going to pay him like 25 cents per kill or something. And it gets to a point where he takes his shirt off and his hat off or whatever the fuck, and he has like a bunch of symbols on his head. I'm like, what are you going to do next? You're going to take his chest, or is he going to have like something on his chest that says, I rape kids or something next?
He's a robot. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's like everything about him is so villainous. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I like him. You're not gonna make me hate him that fucking much. Like, fucking trying that fucking hard. Like, have some subtlety. Why don't you? You fucking movie. You piece of shit.
We left subtlety in the last movie. We're no subtlety anymore.
Yeah, no, man. Fuck this movie. But it's an avoided. But like, seriously though, don't watch this fucking thing. I fucking hate this movie. Like. Wow, and I always hear Anarchy and Election Year are always paired when people are talking about the positives of the Purge. This is so fucking not up there. For black viewers, I don't feel like you're going to be getting... They're trying to get the black people to like it. Like, hey, we understand your struggle, you know, fuck white people, right? But it's like, you kill so much black people and villainize so many black people that they feel like you're being racist against them. Like, do something, right? I fucking hate this movie, but Alan, take it away, sir. I'll show your face.
I'm gonna give it a lower rating than the last one because I didn't like the this one as much as the second one. I'll probably go with the Rent It. But honestly, I'm gonna give this the same excuse I give it for why I watched Hangover 3. If you've watched the first two, you might as well just fucking watch it. Yeah. If you sit there going, well, I have better class than to watch this Purge movie, it's like if you already watched two Purge movies, you might as well watch the third one. If you watch the second one, it helps close the loop. But it's one of those things where it's not a particularly good movie, but it's a particularly stupid movie. And if you're okay with the level of stupidity that The Purge has given you at this point, this third one won't insult you anymore. It's just going to be like, what the fuck am I watching? But yeah, it's one of those things where it's clearly the weakest one, 100%. But it's not completely worthless. There are some cool moments. There are some great kills. And there are some funny-ass moments that are unintentional as hell.
Yeah. Now... This is where I shut up. I don't even know if I'm going to watch this movie one day, but go ahead, sir. The First Purge.
Alrighty then. I'm glad we talked about the other Purges because now I can put this into context. Basically, right away, one of my biggest problems with this movie is, and I came out of it going kind of lukewarm, is it's just another Purge movie. It's just another setup with a bunch of main characters, and let's just do a bunch of Purge stuff. And I'll say this, like, unlike the last, I guess, 3 movies, it's a primarily black cast where the main guy, like, at this point I watched so many movies that as soon as the camera panned up to his car, I'm like, that's the main character. And he pops out, like, yeah, it turns out he was right. But a lot of stuff, it's like, and they're less subtle than they've ever been, but they're more focused this time around because they're straight up saying, it's like, wait, this is just about the poor. They picked this island because it's primarily poor. Like, what? Like, there's people protesting this. But my biggest problem with this movie is it's just another Purge movie, and it doesn't set up. It doesn't explain to me the one thing I'm questioning is, how are you going to get to this motherfucking place? How would anybody accept this? But the movie starts off with the fucking people from the last few movies got elected, and they're testing this out on Staten Island because this place is the majority of people of Mexican, African-American descent, all that stuff. And my problem with this movie is I feel like they nailed the protagonists because the protagonists they're not the best people. It's very similar to the first one. Because a lot of them is like, one's a protester trying to stop this. One's the drug dealer who's like the drug kingpin of this entire area. But he's still a decent guy at heart. And I still like that. I like the struggle. I like what they're doing because they made it work within like, they're really legit. Like there's no subtlety as far as like, they know exactly why they're doing this. They're being targeted. And it's just a survival from them. But some of the main white people they have border from businessman evil to stupid evil. Because the woman and Spider-Man's aunt, thank her for the Purge, comes up with this idea for the purge of like, oh, people need to psychologically release their energy. I need to do this stuff. So when the purge starts happening and all this stuff starts happening, she's like, well, why aren't more people participating? And it's something I've always said of like, people aren't going to actively murder. And the movie says it up. People aren't actively going to murder. Most of the first things that happen are a bunch of bonfires and fights and just random fights and also people stealing. And it gets to the point where she's like, what? There's only been one kill? What? This is pissing me off. And then then they show a party, and then some more stuff happens.
They're mostly at this guy's conscious house doing LSD. What's going on?
Dude, that literally happens. One guy goes,
can God stop doing that shit, by the way? Like, seeing a movie without seeing a fucking movie? Like,
dude, at one point, one guy...
Series, bro.
Dude, at one point, one guy goes, well, they're all at these weird parties all over the city. And you go, and this is probably one of the best parts of the movie is... in order to track the people that are purging, because they want people to go out and purge and they're tracking them, and they give them these eye contacts that make them all glow. And that's kind of the most interesting part of the movie is the visual with lights. So when everyone's dancing and raving at the parties, you have the lights from the rays, but then you have the lights of the eyes, and it makes people look more evil or more cool. And I really enjoyed that part. But it's one of those things where in order to get the movie to get going, it does so much stupid bullshit. And it gets to the point where the fucking person that created this, you think she's evil like the rest of the white people in this movie, but she's like, oh no, what have I done? It's like, you knew what you were doing from the start. You wanted this to happen. You can't turn heel and be like, oh, I'm a good guy now. It's like, no, that's not how that works. You knew it was going to happen. This movie just falls apart at its basic premise of not explaining how this works. But I still enjoyed the action scenes. I still enjoyed the main characters because, again, it made him feel sympathetic without overly good. And it continued this whole thing of like, and maybe I feel like but it does feel like it was trying too hard to solve the criticisms we just have of this movie being too overtly racist, too overtly pandering, and not understanding what the fuck it's trying to do. And I feel like this movie is doing that, but I feel like it did it better. At least personally, I personally felt like it did it better than the other movies. I don't know if someone else is gonna watch this and disagree, but I did enjoy the main character. I did enjoy the action scenes, and they were really well done action. So. But I have to say that this isn't avoided because this is unnecessary. It's a prequel that explains nothing, and it leads nowhere. So we already know that this is going to happen, so the fact that they fucking deal with this problem, it's like, it means nothing. So this movie is just completely fucking, like, it feels like a waste of time, so honestly avoid it. Unless you're like me, well, I've already watched the first 3, I might as well finish it. But just wait for it to be on television, or wait for us to do a viewing party of it.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing too, man. Like, I was trying to watch this by certain means, couldn't find anything, and I was like, you know what, dude? Like, looking at this trailer, I know this movie. Like, I think I saw this 3 times right now.
There's some cooler. It's one of those things where the best way to sum up the series is there's some cool moments. Yeah,
and I mean, I will say I don't regret watching the series. I always avoided the Purge because I was like, man, this shit sounds stupid, and I don't know, I think it's overhyped. I'm glad that I watched it. Because this movie is very, very different than a lot of other movies and lots of series.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. But at this point, it's like, you know what, dude? I wouldn't recommend this. I'm not gonna overhype it like everybody else has. You will see movies that copy this later on down the line. And wait for those. You know, Belko Experiment was a pretty cool idea. That sounds almost like a purge.
That sucked.
Thing. You know, I don't know if you did. You like it, by the way?
That movie is like this, but doesn't try. Like, oh, sorry, it tries just as much, but it fails harder for me. It's a shorter movie, but it's just like, let's just kill people for fucking a minute. Oh, we have some sort of weird message. We're not even gonna bother explaining it.
Yeah, but I mean, at least it didn't. You know, at least it was like, you know what? You want a killing? We give you killing. Boom, killed, done. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. I'll give the Purge this, and I'll go with this. Like, I think you should check it out just for the sheer curiosity, but it's nothing deep. And I think it's better than the Belko Experiment because even with the first one, it still gives you an idea of why this exists. The Belko Experiment never does it. It just was some experiment bullshit, and it's over. Like, there's nothing with the Belko. With this, at least there's something. As stupid as it is, it's something.
Yeah. I'm looking at a chat here, too. They're saying, it looks like Alan's going to be part of the MCA Arena Hangout because you keep making wrestling turns and everything. And I'm like, I'm trying to convert him, goddamn. Speaking of that, MCA Arena Hangout. Oh, what are you saying now, Contra?
You leave my boy alone. He's mine.
I know. He's like, no, don't leave the gaming show, because then with the wrestling show, I'll be too tired.
I could do both. Okay.
Hey, if you're down, I'll get your ass on there. Because one thing I'm about to bring up right now, July 15th, literally 10 days away from now, we are going to be. Or wait, is it? How long is that shit?
I wasn't. Mother 7.
7 days away from now. It's some shit. I'm sleepy, y'all. Shut up. But no, July 15th, we are going to be doing the WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Ringside Hangout will return. Hopefully, the show will be a lot more different. If it's not, we're probably going to not be doing so many reaction shows for Raw and SmackDown. I think we might just stick to pay-per-views. But when those pay-per-views come, I do think Alan will be a great addition. I know he's usually doing so much stuff, just like when he does with Ganja on the gaming show. But he's gone now. I think he's blowing his nose or something.
Yeah, just, like I say, let me know when it's going to happen. I'll check it out and see if I can be around.
Yeah, but since we're talking about though that gaming show, that beautiful gaming show, Mr.
I'm like I was doing cocaine when I came back.
No, but go ahead, sir. Discuss that gaming show.
Well, guys, if you go check us out on the Facebook page where we have the Midnight Chat Attack, and we also, me and my favorite Birdman co-host and our bi-weekly co-host, Trey Cooper, you also know him from the Ringside Hangout, we do a little video game show called the Untitled Video Game Show. Our Uggies come by in the chat, we bullshit, we play some video games, and even talk about some video game topics and news. So come by and check us out every Friday at 7:30 CST time on the Facebook page.
Oh, on that Facebook page. And make sure to go to our Amino chat. Oh, actually,
Motherfucker. Well, since you're already on the Facebook page checking out the Untitled Gaming Show, be sure to check out the Amino that's actually already posted there. It'll send you to our Amino page. You can check it out. It'll show you all sorts of information as far as upcoming shows, upcoming polls, people just posting random images, a link to Untitled Video Game Show to make sure you can watch it whenever we do that. There's also a 24-hour chat that actually goes there to mostly yell about my opinions and to send food pictures to piss Nick off. And is there anything else I forgot?
Nope, there's nothing else you forgot. The only thing they forgot
is the Ringside Hangout.
Oh, yeah. No. The Ringside Hangout, which, god damn it, like, it is dead right now until it returns on fucking Sunday, where it's like going to be like The Undertaker coming back. It's going to be fucking great.
Again?
Again.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, we're going to come back with The Undertaker.
Oh, okay. I was like, the third time.
No, Undertaker is dead. But yeah, and then Max said, hey, can Max be in addition to the MCA Ringside Hangout every reactions? Yeah, dude, if you are there and you watch the show and everything too, we'll probably bring you on halfway through to give your ratings and everything and to tell us that we're fucking wrong about stuff, because I know that's what you like to do. You're basically, he should be Little Alan. I think that might work more than Little Ragnarok. Ragnarok's dead.
Not as catchy as Little Ragnarok.
I'll call him Little Birdman.
Man, Nick, you gotta check out the Untitled Video Game Show this past episode. I literally had Little Ragnarok on and I had Alan at the same time, and they were literally arguing over who's the shortest.
Yeah,
I'm right. I'm taller than him. Not by much, but I am.
Considering the topic that was at hand, I think that's a pretty short discussion.
Oh, fuck off.
I actually stole it from somebody. I think it was Cedric who said that shit. That's two jokes I stole from Cedric today. I'm sorry, Cedric.
Stop stealing jokes from Cedric. They suck.
Oh, you're just mad because well, I'm not. No, I'm not even gonna make fun of his height. He's a strong, young, healthy young boy.
He's a strong little man.
Yeah, it's a brave little toasty. So, anyways, we're getting the fuck out of here, folks. Let me just go ahead and get my shit set up. I didn't even do that before. My bad with that. But yeah, once again, Ringside Hangout, July 15th. I'm doing this shit to stall. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm sleepy. And make sure to go to the Amino chat. We'll have more community questions posted up so you guys can ask us. What's up, Ganja?
Oh, the after hours.
Ooh, the after hours. I forgot about this after hours. Tonight I was thinking of us watching The Purge, but now that I watched all those movies today, I don't feel like watching that shit again. And honestly, I don't think you guys should watch that shit again.
Tyler Perry's The Purge.
Man, that Acrimony shit. Oh, we forgot to review Acrimony, but we'll do that next week.
We'll do that next time.
Yeah, because Acrimony, goddamn, man, fuck Acrimony. And fuck you guys. So, you know, Chad, fuck you guys for making us watch that bullshit. Like, that was really awful. Sorry, Ganja, but that was bad.
Have fun.
No one's arguing with you.
Because Ganja,
why does everyone keep thinking we liked the movie? It was entertainingly stupid, but it doesn't mean we liked it.
Yeah, I'm not giving it
has
an
a face
Oscar.
that he's just kind of like, oh man, really?
Yeah, because that movie fucking turns into a fucking horror movie in the last 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, people. Well, anyways, we're gonna be getting the fuck out of here. Rojo says he wants to be on the show too. We'll have him on the show as well. Yeah, man. Anytime you guys want to get on, let me know. On Facebook, I will message you back. I promise. Even though Eddie will probably tell me that I'm wrong for that shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, on 3, 2, 1, attack! Goddamn shit! We're on the show, folks. Love you. Watch it. Don't watch The Purge.
Or do it.